Hi, welcome to the Dumps, the place for all your side needs. And today it's been a quiet day, but I was thinking, I was dreaming, that my dick was out. If I, if it had, I was gonna name that bump after my ex-wife Priscilla and busted on by jacking off. Okay, yeah. Now the episode's already demonetized. That's great. But anyway,
As if it was ever demonetized in the first place.
well, that's true. But
Well, monetized in the first place.
yeah, I'll get money someday from this damn company. But anyway, we're here. We're back. This is our second returning guest, A Critic. His episode didn't do as well as the other episodes, but if you remember him, oh, you would remember him. He's another of one of two British folks who've been on this podcast. You can introduce yourself again.
Hello, everybody. It's me, A Critic again. I'm the best guest on the dumps.
That is
as
true.
my last episode's viewership count will atone.
Yeah. You
I
had
don't have much to say.
You were a fun guest. We talked about Disney theme parks. That was great.
Oh shit! Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. It was great. But today, there's a bit of intensity here, but we'll get to that later. At first, we're gonna talk about s- I know, I don't think I usually associate you with let me say Halloween shit, but you chose
Right,
two
okay.
very campy movies to bring me on for, or I brought you on for this. But it kind of fits you, and both of these are probably you've never heard of, but they have two major stars in them. First, we're gonna be talking about Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror. Um, Now you might be thinking, are you serious? Is this an actual movie? Yes, I'm serious. This is a real movie. Um, Now, I have no other way to introduce this movie because it quite literally was a surprise movie. Because it premiered at this festival. I forgot what it was called because I quickly researched this, but it apparently was.
Was it Cannes? Was it the Cannes Film Fest?
I wish, oh, I wish they would have done like a 9-minute applause. I think 9 minute at least. But in all seriousness, there was this like small festival. It was like 8 films that will terrify you to death or some shit. And then the secret ninth film, the ninth one, was Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horrors. What a terrible way to end a festival. That's great. Wow. But yeah, this is Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horrors. Most of you have probably never heard of this movie, but apparently you had this on your watch list for a while.
I didn't have it on my watch list, but I did know of it
You did know
because
of it.
of the director Stacey Title, who is no longer with us,
Aw.
is famed for directing The Bye Bye Man from 2017. If anybody remembers that, that
No.
steaming pile of shit.
No.
Xander, have you seen The Bye Bye Man?
I have not seen The Bye Bye Man, surprisingly.
Mm. Yeah, but no, I looked through all of her back catalog when I was looking at what else she had directed, and this was on there, and I thought this from her, this seems rather odd that she directed this. It's weird,
I don't
very weird.
imagine her directing this. I mean, she does direct horror garbage, but this is not in her line of horror garbage, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't say
Yeah,
this feels right. Uh, it's a bit weird, bit weird. But yeah, Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror is an anthology about, I guess, morals in the hood. And each of the stories are very, very, very simple. I don't think they require much time to discuss. They are not movies that you could talk about for an hour. Not even an hour, not even 30 minutes, probably for like 15 minutes. It could be a nice, fun little movie, but I don't think you'd remember it, at least. Because I remember you said in your review that if you just get some friends together and just watch this, you wouldn't mind it, but also, who gives a shit? I don't.
yeah, that's pretty much what I said. I definitely watched it in the wrong environment, just sitting on my own in my uni room, just eating my dinner while I watched it. It
Me
was the wrong
too.
vibe.
Me too.
Why did you just watch it alone?
Yeah, I watched it alone too. It was just
Oh
sad.
dear. I feel like we should have watched this one in a watch party, like we did with Sausage Party,
Yeah, but it would have been less funny too. But you know,
possibly.
this is fine in terms of a basic story and thematic implications. In terms of logic, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention enough to give a shit. So, eh.
I know. Do you know like so you don't know anything that's going on at all? Because
No,
I think I
I
get it.
understood some of it because the first story they're like, oh, let me quote this. Diego de Hero, I forgot how to say his name, but like he says, the power to give life is a great responsibility, but the power to kill is even greater. Without compassion, you are not better than those fate you seal. That's a quote from the first story in the movie. I was
Hmm.
confused by it. I guess what it means is fair punishment fits the crime, I guess. And then this girl, this graffiti girl, she seems so casual. I forget what her motive is, but I don't think she'd be the type to be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna casually murder a person while they're like having a telephone call. I wouldn't imagine that. But yeah, the events of the first story basically, she gets powers after events, and she's a graffiti artist, and then she kills someone, and then she gets bite in the ass for it. That's it. I don't It's surprisingly long. I think it's the longest segment. Unless two is. I think the second story might be the longest. But these first two, they're like weirdly long, even though they have very focused narratives. I guess they're very simple and dumb. I don't think I have anything to say. I don't know if you do. Do you have anything to say on the first story?
Um, I was surprised when Billy D. Williams showed up as the pastor.
Oh, yeah, that was weird. But yeah, that was like
I was like, what are you? Why is Billy D. Williams there? And it only just that kind of shock when I see actors that I know in this. It only just increases as we go further into this, and I will
uh
point them out.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
This one's
as the
fine.
first one,
First
I
one's I don't.
is fine. I mean, oh shit, it was Danny Trejo as well.
Yeah, that's what I
He
said.
was
That's what I
the
was mentioning. He said that stupid line before.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
there in this one as well. No, I got nothing to say. It's just kind of like silly, campy
it's
schlock.
the second story is I think the Vietnam one, right? Um,
Yeah, that's the one with the Vietnam vets
yeah,
and
and among them is Ernie Hudson for some reason.
yeah.
I was so confused by that, but he's here, and I was like, okay, I didn't think that was gonna happen, but sure. I'm looking through these cast lists and I'm looking and I see, oh yeah, I forgot Jason Alexander was in
Yeah,
this.
Jason Alexander's in the third one, and he's playing a British music producer.
Yeah, that was great. But yeah, the back to the second story. This one's also very morally obvious, where it's like white man uh finds out his father's dead, inherits it, but has one thing under his will that he has to do, to live with these with his comrades in the war for like a year or a month, and then wacky shenanigans happen. Turns out his son is racist. And he's taking advantage of the black people, giving them money, saying, "Oh, you poor man, here, have some cash." And then it's like very, very obvious, very Jordan Peele like social commentary here. Um,
I know
oh,
some people are gonna be pissed off about
someone's
that.
gonna be pissed off about that one.
You compared Jordan Peele's filmography to Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror 2006.
Get out some
They're gonna come
masterpiece.
coming for you now.
Yeah. Well, just so you know my stance on Peele, if you don't follow my letterbox, sorry to break it to you, I don't like Jordan Peele, but that's for another day. But I will say, Get Out is better than the second story, but that's not by much. Surprisingly. Yet somehow, I think this is the best segment because it's so ridiculously cartoonish that I don't even bother trying to make sense of it. I'm like, okay, I get what you're
I
doing. I
mean,
might as well enjoy it for what it is.
I mean, it does make sense. The whole thing, it makes sense.
The
It's
whole
just,
thing makes sense. It's just very obvious where it's going. Like
mm,
I don't. I think I think cliches in terms of like criticism is valid under this circumstance because I don't think it does anything more than what it's supposed to. And I know that means it's objectively okay and it's like objectively fine, but also that means I didn't really enjoy it or found it much more greater than it is. So it's just fine. And
did you know that the actor who plays the son, the
what's his name?
the rich guy, Tex
Yeah, yeah,
Jr.
Tex
is the
Jr.
character's
Yeah,
name.
the Tex Jr.
Yeah, his actor plays Black Bolt in Multiverse of Madness.
What? Wait, really? That's the same guy?
Yeah, Anson Mount.
Oh
I
my
think
god,
that's how
he
you spell
is!
it.
Oh my god, he is! That's
Yeah.
great. Um, well, you see, when I first saw Multiverse of Madness in the theater, I'm very proud of that fact. I gave it a 7 at
Oh,
first.
I saw it too on opening day.
I gave it a 7. That was great. But I was thinking, oh, hey, why does Black Bolt kind of look like Ben? He kind of, I don't know if it's just me, but he kind of looked like Ben Affleck. His chin is just very similar to him in that outfit. It was weird.
Because it's got stubble on it.
Yeah. But okay, I guess it turns out he was that guy I was watching in the theaters back in May 6th, 2022 was also in Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror. Who would have known everything would tie together again? How wonderful.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't really have much to say. Like all of these segments really are just like okay, that's fine. And then the third story, I don't have anything to say because I think I completely blanked out of my memory. Besides the fact that Jason Alexander is in it. Um,
Uh,
what
that's
happens in it
the
again? Uh,
that's the music. So it's about rap. So there's a rapper and he's big and successful,
uh huh.
but his friend who was his like producer and like cohort who was helping him make his music
Yeah.
was like trying to like stop him from doing stuff, and he didn't like that, so he hired a hitman to stage a robbery so his friend got shot so he could stop like controlling him.
Oh, never mind. And then I remember because like later he's like he appears as a ghost, but no one can see him, and he's like gonna
Yeah.
like preparing to kill. Yeah, I think that has a neat concept, but also it's it's Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror. I don't think it. I don't. It's. I'm not saying this is completely devote of artistic integrity or creativity because it does, but it's also very straightforward. It feels like it was kind of rushing to get to everything, but at the same time so fucking slow just to reach that like theatrical runtime. Because this is barely like even. Yeah, it's
I
85
think it's an
minutes.
hour 15. Yeah.
Yeah, not even a full 90 minute, not even full round 90 minute, which is what.
I was honestly happy that it was that long because I feel like if it went on for like an hour 30, I feel like it would have overstayed its welcome.
Oh yeah, no, it
I'm,
would have.
I'm perfectly
It was already kind of slow anyway, so it was like, oh, I don't I don't want to see a longer extended cut of this movie unless that exists. I'm not sure if it does. It'd be funny, but I don't
probably not.
probably not. Um
What do you think of the animated segments, especially
no
the opening
Oh, I
bit?
was going to talk about this. They all look like they were animated in Adobe Flash in 2006. Like it has that exact aesthetic cuz it's like replicating that like comic artwork. It's got all the it's like those people that try to do anime art but they really fucking suck at it, you know? It's and you know, I know it's a tad harsh, but it's true. Don't lie and say it isn't cuz I went through that exact phase. So so don't tell me I am
I didn't
unexperienced
say
in this
anything.
field cuz
I
I
didn't.
know.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
I'm just referring to the audience because I just it seems like an odd tangent, but yeah, the animated segments they are decent. They
I kind of liked them. I kind of like the story that was being told in the
I
opening
will
bit. I wish
say
that was actually.
I will say they use the limitations of Adobe Animate very well. The whole Flash aesthetic can be seen. It like seethes through the entire thing, but also they like cut away at the perfect. Like, they fade in. They do flashing. It's like they cover it up. It's like fine because they have limited movements, so they're just like very minimal with it. And I gotta say the anime segments are the most creative of Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror.
I like the story that's being told in the opening about how Snoop Dogg got his powers and became this like demon entity that like punishes people.
That's
I wish that was just the whole film instead, because that seemed
well,
more interesting than what
well,
was going
that's
on.
that's actually what Bones is about. So yeah,
What was it?
we have Bones. Do you not remember? Okay, so Bones is another horror film, not just narrated by Snoop Dogg, but is the star of it.
Oh,
Do you remember? I think you liked the review for it from me, but yeah,
um,
the movie is pretty good. Honestly, it's not the best, but it's like a mix of Hellraiser and fucking like 90s black dramas, the ones focusing on gangs and how black systemic problems and black profiling. That was like a
mhm,
big thing. That was like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, Do the Right Thing, that type of shit. But it's taken in a lot more of a campy direction, and along with the Hellraiser influence. And honestly,
mhm,
it's pretty good. Its social commentary is honestly like not great, but it works and it benefits the film because besides like the basic plot, I think visually it looks nice sometimes, but the some of the VFX looks bad. But even then, there's like cool gore and there's a lot of actually just all right elements. I think the main characters are fine, but uh, surprisingly, Pam Grier is in it, and she's the highlight of it because she's the wife of the dead Snoop Dogg, who later in the film rises from the dead. It's so cool. The movie's fun, but that
I think I
that
put it in my watch
yeah
list.
yeah that alone is way more interesting, and I would have liked to talk about it, but instead I'm talking about Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horrors.
Hey, you let me pick this film, all right? So you
Yeah, I'm
say
sorry.
nothing.
I expected a bit more from this, but oh well. I think I'm fine with it being this way. It's it's
You ever wonder
fine.
if Snoop Dogg remembers that he did this film,
He
or do you
was
think he's
probably he was
forgotten?
probably high out of his mind, like fucking doing the scenes in this movie. Because there must be a reason why he wasn't in much of it in the first place. Because he's
Because
just
he's the narrator.
he's a
It's like Tales
narrator.
from the Crypt. He's like the crypt keeper. He literally says that in the song at the end of the film.
Well, yeah, I know, but like even then, do you think he cared? I don't think he did.
I
He
don't
was
know.
he was kind
He
he
was
was kind
kind
of.
of good.
I have a theory that they just like hired him for this random like anthology, and they're like, all right, we'll use you as a selling point, and then I don't know if this movie made its money back, but actually, let me check
I don't
this.
even know if it was shown in cinemas. It feels like something you would just like come across late night on TV somewhere.
Yeah, no, this seems like a AMC original before they'd had Breaking Bad and 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 The Walking Dead. Oh my God.
It definitely doesn't cinematic.
Oh my God. Okay, the budget was
But
$5 million, right? Uh,
it's pretty good. It's
uh,
pretty good for what they've done.
they made back $25,000.
Was this a cinematic release?
I I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure. Um, yeah, okay. It was screened in 2006 at a film festival that I talked about earlier. But then it
Uh-huh.
released in theaters worldwide on May 4th, 2007, and it made no money.
Oh wow.
Wow. It made $25,000, nearly 26,000. What a remarkable.
Jesus. Wow.
on a $5 million budget. This movie looks like shit for a $5 million budgeted movie.
That's why I thought it was like something from TV, not like something you put in the cinema.
Nope,
Like-
it's a cinematic release, screened at film
Oh,
festivals, baby.
well, that's good. Um,
But yeah, that was. I'm sure this will undermine the next two discussions, but I will say, Snoop Dogg's Hood
ah,
of
man,
Horror
great start.
it's all right. I don't think it deserves the fate it got in terms of its box office. I think it's.
Come on, $5 million. You definitely should have gotten back
Did you see the
something.
color grading in the movie? It's so bad sometimes. It's like looks so high contrast. It's so bad. It looks ugly, but
Oh
also
shit! Hold on, I forgot what I
I
was gonna
don't
say. What did
know.
you think of the ending to the second one?
Oh, the ending
Ending to
to
the
the
second.
second one. That one's great. It's a great ending. He gets tortured, punished. It's great. I don't.
Oh, and what happens to his girlfriend is
Oh, oh yeah, that.
mildly funny.
Um, I mean, you could describe it if you want. I don't. Um.
Okay, so the black Vietnam vets
Uh huh.
have had enough of the white couple shit, so they tie him up. The guy's tied up in a wheelchair, and they've tied his girlfriend to the bed, and they've been force feeding her caviar because she's selfish, and she's been feeding
Yeah,
her pet dog caviar
yeah.
and
See,
starving the black
see,
Vietnam
see.
vets.
They
And they've been
mentioned caviar earlier. It's like a setup and payoff, baby.
yeah, they've
It's
been
great.
force feeding her caviar, and
Yeah.
then they force feed her a little bit more until her stomach explodes.
Oh, that's
And
great. It
it
was
goes
so good.
in every way. Even though they cut away from the explosion, you see the aftermath of it.
You had a $5 million budget. You could have made that to like make a prosthetic explosion, but I guess not. All right.
I don't know, but and then they push the guy in the wheelchair down a ramp
Oh,
into
yeah.
to some cow or bull horns on that have been mounted on a wall. They push him into that, and he gets fucking stabbed through the throat.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
Snoop Dogg takes him to hell.
Yeah, it takes a now. But yeah. I guess that's Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror. I don't.
What are you giving as a rating to Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror?
I haven't reviewed it, which is weird. I probably should have done that. But I'd give it a solid 47. Um, it's
So
bet.
is that a two?
Yeah. It's worse than Nope and Get Out. How shocking. Only by a margin, though.
What about
Only by a margin.
what about what about Us though?
Oh, Us is still worse.
There you go, people.
There you go, people.
Live from the guy's mouth right there.
Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror is, in fact, better than Us 2019.
You
Yeah,
heard it here first.
you heard it here.
I'm gonna give Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror. I think I gave it
Yeah, you
a
give it a 4.
four out of 10, 2 stars. There's worse ways to waste an hour and 15 minutes. Just
Oh,
watch it
yeah.
with friends.
Probably
Just
Bye
watch it
Bye
with friends.
Man's worse than this, but yeah.
Oh, Bye Bye Man is so much worse.
Does it look even more ugly than this movie somehow?
No, it's just very technically incompetent. It's
Oh,
just yeah.
that's real bad. But yeah, this is kind of an awkward segment because I'm just like, I think once I'm done with this episode, I will completely forget Hood of Horror. Besides the fact that Jason Alexander's in it, I'll never forget
I
that.
won't. I won't forget it because I've already added the song that Snoop Dogg sings at the end to my music playlist.
Of
So I
course
will
you did.
always remember it.
Okay, you absolute cretin.
What? I thought the song was good.
I don't know if it is, but okay. Let's I'll
Do you
pretend
want
it
to move
is.
on now?
Yeah,
Do you want to move on?
speaking of big stars in weird horror movies, there is Bubba Ho-Tep, starring Bruce Campbell as Elvis.
Woohoo!
Another movie you probably haven't heard of either for most people watching this who even bother would. But yeah, Bubba Ho-Tep is actually based on a book. Yeah, it's based on a book with the same name. Um, Basically, it is the same plot as the book. And the book came from actually an Elvis Presley themed anthology called "The King Is Dead." That's a real thing. I should probably read that comic. It sounds funny, but yeah, this was the book was actually originally criticized for some reason by saying uh Kirkus Review heavily criticized Bubba Ho-Tep upon its initial release in book form, as they considered the story to be one of the worst of the Elvis anthology series, as they thought that Lansdale, the author, spent too much time on the king's hard-ons, and that too much bad writing leaves the reader all shook up and itching like a man on a fuzzy tree. What? What? What type of metaphor is that? What?
That's quite the yeah. Wow, that is something there.
But yeah, yeah, The King is Dead book, Bubba Hotep, the novella, was adapted into screen form by what's his name, Don Conscarelli. Now the weird part is this guy started the Phantasm franchise, which that's like a big horror franchise apparently. Pretty cool.
Hmm.
And besides that, I don't think he's directed anything notable besides Bubba Hotep, which is actually a good success for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was made on a $1 million budget, but it made oh wait,
Ooh,
it made 1.2 million. I mean,
that's pretty good.
that's pretty. At least it made its budget back, but let's not account for marketing. Oh,
Did it have marketing?
it must have had some to get $1 million at least. But yeah, you think that a movie about Bruce Campbell playing Elvis in alternate universe where he didn't die and lived on to pretend to be an impersonator of himself, you think that sounds stupid, but it's actually a pretty good movie. You, it doesn't feel like a real movie, but it actually is, and it's actually like good. I was
Yeah.
surprised by like how actually kind of sad it is in concept and how actually just it's played very straight because I was kind of
Yeah.
expecting a lot more of a comedic tone, which I think that's what you said you wanted from it when you first heard of it.
Yeah, because I've known vaguely about this film for years. It was like one of the first things I ever put on my letterbox watch list, like fucking 5 years ago.
Oh,
And you finally brought it up to me the other day. I was like, all right, now it's finally time I get to watch this. And I was expecting from the description, from the synopsis that the film gives you,
yeah.
I thought it would be funnier than it is, but it actually isn't. It's more sad
And
and
somber?
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, very sad and somber.
it's oddly
I
like
also didn't know.
really
Yeah,
sad, man. Like
I also didn't know that it was mildly horror as well. I thought it was just going to be a big blowout comedy.
yeah, I was expecting like horror comedy shit, like an Evil Dead 2 or some stuff, but no, it's Bubba Hotep. It's its own thing, and it's surprisingly
Yeah.
well written in terms of what Elvis's character is characterized as and how his legacy reflects towards this alternate universe take of him, where he
Mm.
wanted to leave that like life behind, that Vegas life, to other pastures to live a more simpler life. You know, he originally went to a trailer park, met with a couple buddies, but then the entire trailer park explodes. Real scene. It's great. It's wonderful, actually. It's really funny. But then we see him, disabled, basically unable to feel anything, represented by his erection problems. But yeah, um, weirdly enough, the erections fit into the thematic elements of this movie. Cause Elvis, he hasn't had much life in him, if you get what I'm saying. By which he means he hasn't been able to touch a girl in a long time as well. It means two ways, but it's cool. It's surprisingly just quiet for a lot of it. Like for the first half, there not much horror elements come into play until when the first kill happens, when the scarab kills the old lady who's also in the retirement home along with Elvis, the
Hmm.
gunslinger cowboy, and also a man who thinks he's John F. Kennedy, who's also black.
He doesn't think he's John F. Kennedy. It's John F. Kennedy's who he's been put into a black guy
Oh yeah, yeah,
allegedly.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. Allegedly, that's what it was. So yeah, see, it's
Mhm.
more believable. See, all the conspiracy theories are right about it. Where do you think John F. Kennedy's ashes went? Inside a black man, obviously.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is actually just a nice like I don't know. It's there's not much action. There's not much comedy either. It's besides the erection jokes. That's the main highlight. But like besides that, I don't think its stride is to go for that because there's just a lot of
Mm.
sad moments where you're just like, oh yeah, yeah, his ex-wife left him. He left his old life behind, and now he just needs to find a purpose in life, which I did not expect from that. I kind of expected that more from the fucking Elvis biopic movie, but I guess not.
Hey, 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 hey! Come on now. No, stop it.
I I just gotta say this movie is
It was
extremely better than the
the
Elvis biopic.
The Elvis biopic is telling the story. It ended tragically, and the film ends tragically. There wasn't no high point. It just was just straight downward curve for Elvis in real life. All right,
Yeah,
you know,
but you
you
see,
can't.
in either way, I think that biopic should have explored. Actually, no, the movie did say something about like Elvis and his relationship to the black community, and also his I guess relationship with Colonel Parker. But even then, it's taken to an extreme degree, as Baz Luhrmann style does, and you're giggling like a schoolgirl over this, but it's true.
because because the film is good.
It's not. It's really
It's
not.
it's just a bit of fun.
It's not though. It's not a bit of
It
fun.
was.
It's a bit of a nauseating experience. That's what
It
I'd
was
say.
a it was a ton of fun, and the ending was very sad. I nearly cried at the ending because it
You
was really
did?
hit home. Yeah, the ending was very effective.
Okay, well the one part where they showed like the full like Unchained Melody like performance that sucks. That was really sad.
What? It sucks.
No, I said it was sad. And it's sad. That's what I meant.
Oh, right.
Not in the
Okay.
suck in the
Okay.
yeah, I fucking hate it even though I do not like the movie, but still. It's
Listen, once you watch Moulin Rouge, you'll be on board with Baz Luhrmann. You want to watch the rest of his stuff.
would I? Cuz I heard his
Yeah.
adaptation of The Great Gatsby is good in style, but it's really bad in terms of adapting the story. So
I've heard. I haven't heard anything about the style. I just hear his Great Gatsby adaptation is awful.
yeah, this is a Romeo plus Juliet, which some people really like, and then some people are like, I fucking hate it, burn in hell or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? I don't.
I don't know. I've only seen bits and pieces of that one. It looks interesting. It looks fun.
It looks weird. It reminds me of that. What was it? That Heath Ledger movie, A Knight's Tale, where it's like a mix of like modern filmmaking, but also is set in a older time period. It's kind
Hmm.
of like that, but yeah, I haven't seen either movie, so I can't really say anything on it. Um, but I will say I've learned that Elvis 2022 is it's still bad. I'm not gonna ever like the movie unless something weird happens.
It only took you like three watches to nail that down, huh?
Do,
You've
do
watched
you
it 3 times. You've
do
watched
you
it more than me.
do you want me to explain it? Do you want me to explain?
Go right ahead.
Okay, so first watch, right? Um, so my cousin, my little buddy here, we were playing Minecraft, right? We were playing some classic Skyblock, and then
Based.
he mentioned Doja Cat, and I was like, oh yeah. And then I remember, cause I remember I was going to theaters often that around that time, so I heard about this Elvis movie because the trailer played like 7,000 times.
I
So
saw it. I saw it like 14
I
times.
saw it
14
like
separate times in cinema.
I saw it at least like 20 times. It was endless. Fucking
I
crazy.
love that trailer so much. It's a awesome inside joke between me and my dad because we quote it to each other every time we see each other. It's great. It's just ingrained into our memories. It's great. We love it. We love the Elvis trailer, and we were so excited for the film, and it did not disappoint. We loved it. We
You
love
know,
Elvis
no, that's
2022.
exactly what happened with me. Cause I was like, oh yeah, Doja Cat has like a song in fucking Elvis. I was like, oh my god, that sounds so bad. And I was like, I really want to see the movie. And then I saw the trailer. I was laughing at the fucking trailer every time it played. And I was hyping this up. So I got to the theater around like opening weekend or the next week, I forget which. And even some of my Cosmonaut Discord server pals. Yes, I'm calling you out. Bacon Pants 13. We were excited. We were excited. And then I watched the movie. So I went in the theater with my dad.
Woo!
We got the popcorn.
Yeah.
I was ready.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
that first opening 15 minutes, um, I was laughing uncontrollably in that time. I was confused, befuddled, and then after it was over, I was like, "Oh right, I have 2 more hours of this movie. 2 more hours plus 15 minutes. No, 20
I
minutes. I
think
break it. How long?
I think it's 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, no, at first 15 minutes. So yeah, 2 hours, 15 minutes more. And I was thinking, oh, no, I've had enough of my Elvis feel. But, oh, wait! No, I have 2 hours and 15 more minutes! Right! Right! And so, it kept going, and it kept, like, its momentum kept going up and down and up and down and up and down. Its pacing is so weird.
It's
But,
like a roller coaster.
no,
That's
I
what all
was.
Baz Luhrmann do. They're like roller coasters.
I was entertained, but I was so confused that it didn't become funny anymore. It just became nauseating because I think I felt dizzy by like the hour mark. I was like, oh god, and it felt like I was like about to barf. But I stuck it through for that next hour, and right when they were playing that fucking final song, I was like, please end. I just want this to fucking end. And so it did. And I was happy. I left the theater and I told my cousin I saw it. It's like, and he was like, why did you see it? And I was like, what? There was a joke between us, right? It's like, yeah, but I wouldn't actually see the movie. And then I just sat there in disappointment, like, oh, fuck.
Backstabbing little shit.
Ugh. And I fucking, oh, god damn it. And my dad's reaction was just mainly like, okay, it was okay. Because for most movies, he either falls asleep or just doesn't care, so that's fun. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, that was great. And speaking of Kazaa Discord server, I mentioned that before, but Bacon Pants 13, shout out to my guy. He also saw it as well, and we both fucking hated it. We bonded over that. And then around summer, around later in the summer, turns out other people in the server wanted to see it, but they didn't see it in theaters. So we hosted a Cosmonaut Discord server watch party, which I attended, and I don't know if I liked it or more, cause in the middle of it, I just took a shower. I was like completely out of it. I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna leave you guys to it. And I went back, and then Elvis ended. I was like, okay. I'm gonna rewind. So I rewind it. I specifically rewind it
Oh
just to make
my god!
sure.
What?
Just to make sure if I still hated it. Yeah, I still hated it. I still hated it. And I was like, okay, I'm never watching this again. Never again. And
And then you
then
watched it again.
and then
You did in fact watch it again.
Bazoinker Bazinga fucking Josh.
Or-
This is around Oscar season. He was like, I'm gonna watch every Oscar Best Picture nomination. And
Is
so,
that your British voice?
no, it's not my British voice. I'm just talking like a fucking retard like Josh is. Um,
Oh wow!
yeah, he was like, I'm gonna watch every Best Picture nominated film. So, he watched Avatar 2. He gave All Quiet on the Western Front 2022 an 8 out of 10. By the way, that's a terrible movie. Stop
I
lying to
I
yourself.
I I got no horse in this race. Alright, I didn't watch that one.
You should watch the 1932, no 1931. That's a fantastic movie. Fantastic movie. And then I watched that remake and I was like, bullshit. This is bullshit. Like pretentious bullshit. And so I was already mad at Josh for that. And then it was like, okay. Like we were in VC. This was around when we were just doing so many fucking VCs. And it was like, I'm gonna watch Elvis. And he says, I don't know how I can't stream it. And so it's like, fine, I'll stream it. And so I streamed it. And I like guided him through the experience. And I don't know if it was worth it, but you know, unironically, hanging out with Josh is great. So I don't know. It wasn't a lost cause. But yeah, the movie was still bad. As a matter of fact, it was still bad. And now we're here. That was my entire Elvis story. God, it's almost as chaotic as the movie itself. Oh my god.
My Elvis story is that I saw it in the cinema and I liked it. It was a lot of schlocky fun. I
Yep.
liked it.
Of course you did.
I've what's that supposed to mean?
Of course you did. Of course you
Fuck
liked
off.
it.
Fuck off. And and then I've annoyed Sander with many gifs of Elvis, and I've quoted it, and I've done voices. I've done an
Do you
impersonation of
want to
Tom Hanks
fly?
from.
Do you want to fly, Mr. Presley?
There are some who make me out to be the
The
villain
villain
of
of
this
this
here story.
story. It's so
In
bad.
that moment, I watched that skinny boy transform
Transform.
to a
It's
superhero.
hero.
He was my destiny. Uh,
It's so bad.
oh,
Oh,
were we talking about Bubba Ho-Tep? Then
oh
Elvis?
yeah, we were. Fuck. This stupid ass movie keeps invading my life every time I think I can get rid of it.
I'm never gonna get rid of it.
It's because
Elvis
Elvis is
Presley.
referenced so much that whenever I see Elvis, I like squirm in my seat, like, God damn it. There he is again.
I feel like this film has left a psychological impact on you. It's left scars. It's left mental scars.
But yeah, like I said, I was just wanting to. This was just meant to be a fucking funny movie, and I was disappointed. And then rewatched it 2 times just to make sure if I still liked it. But no, I
Let's
still don't like it. Ugh.
come on now. Let's put Elvis away and let's talk about Bubba Ho-Tep. Let's finish off with Bubba
Yeah,
Ho-Tep. Come
right,
on
right,
now.
right, right, right. We were there. So Bubba
Get
Ho-Tep,
back.
right?
Hmm.
Great character study on Elvis, at least for the first half. I think it's neat how they portray him by like it's kind of mixed signals because he just wanted to distance himself away from that life because it just wasn't for him. It was just too toxic for him. But also at the same time, he doesn't really have much worth anymore because he was controlled so much in that time period that he doesn't know what to do with his own life and can't really feel anything anymore, and so ends up in just as a has been that no one believes is Elvis because they think
Yeah.
he's an impersonator. And I think it's neat how they try to explore like what it meant to be Elvis to Elvis, like why would it matter to him and like what it means to him anymore, which is weird
Hmm.
because I did not expect that from a concept like Bruce Campbell as Elvis in this horror comedy, and it's barely a comedy, so it's weird. I don't think
It's very.
I was left pleasantly surprised. The second half, I'm not as big of a fan of. I think it's much slower. I think it's the rules for the demon are weird because it's meant to be the sort of Puss in Boots 2 like death version of for Elvis in this movie because he's like this
I,
omnipresent because
I wouldn't say this though. It's that because they say at the
it's more well
beginning.
it's a
Uh,
lot less of a chase and more of a like omnipresent like being like more of a just like a presence rather than like a actual physical villain, I guess, because
they say it's the Egyptian mummy that got stolen, and then it fell into the river, and its sarcophagus opened, and now it's out, and now it's
yeah.
going. the retirement home so it can feast on souls
Yeah,
forever.
then John F. Kennedy in a black man's body. He finds a couple of like Egyptian signs, but no one
Hmm.
believes him. He later tells Elvis of this, of course, but
Yeah,
that's later.
the mummy, the titular Bubba Ho-Tep, after he sucked some souls out of some elderly people, he went to the toilet and he wrote some hieroglyphics on the bathroom stall as he was shitting out the souls that he had eaten.
That's such a funny idea that he was just like casually shitting out souls and then writes fucking signs on the bathroom for some reason. It's so funny, but it's cool.
Hmm.
I think it's a nice comedic way of like figuring out all these things, but also leaving it just like omnipresent. But there's also the scarabs or the fucking like bugs that kill the
Oh,
first person. Weirdly enough, they don't show up in the later half ever. It's weird.
uh,
Well,
the fight that Elvis has with the scarab, very Evil Dead ish.
very Evil
I
Deadish,
got.
except it's kind of pathetic because they're like weak and nimble, so they can't really fight back that much.
Mm.
But they defeat him through smarts and shit. So that's
Yeah.
cool. I I don't know. It's kind of an anticlimax, kind of cool. It's meant to be an anticlimax where it's like okay, it's not really like a satisfying epic battle. It's more of just like outwitting the damn thing. But even
Mm.
then, I don't understand why the monster's so slow. Is it? I forget if it's slow earlier, but it's like very deliberate. Even though like these elderly souls are like, even though there are more stockage of them, which is why he goes around like every retirement home. They are less. They have less meat to them. They have a lot less energy, but they are a quick source. So is it like they're like is it like the demons like going back and forth between different retirement homes and just forgets Elvis or
No,
something?
he's just hanging around this
Yeah,
particular
well,
retirement
okay,
home.
yeah. If he's hanging around, I don't know why he just wastes time. I guess it's just like to keep it going, but I can accept that. It's just still weird for me. Kind of affects his experience, but even then, the final battle is worth it because it's weird. It's like oddly realistic and grounded. It's not too goofy because
Mm.
although it's weird that like the monster could have easily killed John F. Kennedy in a black man's body, like when he was pinned down. But I guess take the time because he didn't think. Because I guess the monster's mindset is that these like elderly people they can't fight back, except they do,
Hmm.
and that's the sort of that ties into the whole thematic thing where it's like Elvis finding new purpose in life and finding happiness in life in some way, and
But
by
it's not that he
which
finds
I guess he finds
happiness,
well
that he gets
strength.
he goes out swinging on
Yeah,
his
he
own
goes out
terms.
swinging. Yeah, yeah,
He's independent and he's his own man again.
yeah, because he doesn't let the omnipresence of this monster take a hold of him. I guess. So
Hmm.
honestly, okay, maybe this movie is great. I guess I just wasn't expecting it to be what it is. Is what
Yeah,
makes me just
I was thrown off by how
yeah.
not very funny it is,
It's a
but
very chill
I kind
movie.
of
I kind of
it
like
is.
it.
I kind of like yeah, I liked what it was doing.
I think I'd revisit this movie even. I think it's
Yeah,
a great movie actually. But
I'd give it another go.
I'd give it, yeah. It's slower paced. I could have wanted it to be like a lot more funny, but like even then, it's still a quite entertaining movie. Um I wouldn't say I ever disliked it in any at any point. It's a fun movie.
Mm.
Uh, I wouldn't say the
What do you think of
directing's
Bruce Campbell?
especially exceptional, but like besides that, I don't really care that much. It's fun.
What do you think of Bruce Campbell depiction of Elvis?
He's oddly subdued in terms of like Bruce Campbellness. So he's like a lot more like actual like he lets he I forget that Bruce Campbell's in the role. He kind of like immerses himself into the Elvis role weirdly enough.
Just like Austin Butler in Elvis.
Yeah, see, just like Austin Butler, he has the same. He can't. He can't get rid of the accent. It's the curse, or some shit. Whatever he's saying on like the fucking interviews.
He used the he used the voice too much,
He's the voice
and
too
now
much,
it's
and now he's stuck with it.
yeah.
It seems like YMS said it was like a marketing campaign thing or Oscar campaign thing. I don't think so. I just genuinely think that Austin Butler's going crazy. So yeah. Um,
I mean, he's in a film this year. I don't know if he's still got the accent in that film.
isn't he gonna
He's
be
in that.
in Dune Part Two? I'm pretty sure he
Yeah,
is.
that, and also I think he's in a movie about bikers with Tom Hardy. Have you seen the trailer for that?
I feel like I've heard of this title. I just forget the exact name for it.
I've
Um,
forgotten the name as well, but I think it's a another biopic about a biker gang in the 60s or 70s.
yeah, yeah,
Tom Hardy's in
something
it.
like that. I don't know exactly what it was, but yeah, there was it was do you remember that fucking? Did you stick around to see the Bubba Nosferatu teaser?
Yes, yes, I did. I checked to see if there's anything at the
Yeah,
end.
Curse of the She Vampires. That was meant to be a joke, but then when the movie was successful and a couple people asked the director for a actual fucking sequel like that, he was like, "Okay, yeah, no, I'm getting no sequel, no sequel is happening." It sucks. It really sucks.
I wouldn't have minded a sequel.
Also, another thing is apparently they couldn't get Elvis songs for the movie, which is weird, but apparently it was because the budget, was $1 million, so half the budget would have been spent on one Elvis song anyway, so that would have been, ugh,
Yeah,
yeesh.
I was wondering why because I was kind of hoping that he would sing at least one song, but now that you've told me that was the budget, I can imagine why he didn't sing
Yeah,
anything.
this feels like a very like mid-budget movie where you're like, we can't do much outside of what the script is, so we can't be too ambitious. But they do what they will with the like three locations they're at, so I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm perfectly fine with
And the
how
score
they
the
go.
score has little bits that are reminiscent of Elvis's music, so it's not all too bad.
It's not all too bad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wouldn't
I
say
like I like the ending. The ending's pretty good.
I wouldn't say the music needs to be like integral to the movie anyway.
Mm.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I don't. I'm trying to look for like actual facts on this movie, but really, it's as simple as it gets. Bruce
Mm.
Campbell promoted the movie just through his book tour for his movie. What's it? What's it? No, book. Yeah, book tour for his book. I forget what it's called. It's called.
Oh, Bruce Campbell's done like loads of books.
Yeah, yeah. He's done loads of books, but this one specifically was "If Chins Could Kill: Confessions of a B Movie Actor." Now that's a good title. But yeah. Ooh wee. That's. I think that's really it. We kind of
I
went
like the
more on.
ending.
Oh yeah, no, I like the ending. I like the ending a lot. I like the. They use that wheelchair very well. That was great. Um,
I like he signs off with "Well, thank you very much." I like that those were his last words. I was like, yeah,
I know that's like
that
an
yeah that.
obvious thing, but like also it's that's too good. It's too good to not put it in.
Mm.
Yeah, great movie. Great movie.
I want Bruce Campbell to do like any like kind of famous people because I feel like he could just do anything because
He's
he
really good at Elvis. It's surprising.
yeah, he's good at loads and loads of impressions. In the TV version of Fargo, I think he plays Ronald Reagan, and I've seen clips of it, and he's pretty good at
Oh really?
Ronald Reagan.
Oh nice.
Yeah. So if
I've seen season one of the Fargo TV show. It's really
Mhm.
good. But I just didn't bother to pick it back up. It was weird. But that first one, that first season, because I know it's an anthology series, but it was actually a really good anthology season for what it is. Uh,
Mm.
I forget his name. Billy Bob Thornton. He's really good in that. The rest of the cast is also really good. Um, Martin Freeman's in it. He's really good in it, and it's actually it's kind of similar to the original movie, but it's also its own thing as well. I'm not sure about the other seasons though. I'll pick it back up eventually, but for now, that's cool to know. Uh,
Mhm.
but yeah,
So yeah, if anybody's listening, get Bruce Campbell to do famous people.
yeah,
Just let
get
him
him to
play
just do
famous.
anything. I think he needs more work. He really does. Because I think
Mm.
as of now, he's kind of more of a just a personality more than an actor anymore, which That sucks, but what can you do? Um,
I hope the Evil Dead animated series comes through, 'cause I'm desperate for
that
it.
also reminds me. I need to watch Ash versus the Evil Dead at some point. That'd be cool.
Oh, it's so good.
I can't wait.
It is. It's great.
Yeah. I actually just wouldn't mind just Bruce, because I think Bruce Campbell is a genuinely good actor. He also brings a lot of physicality to his roles, so I guess that also benefits him doing impressions as well. You know, just to add a bit more
Hmm.
prosthetics, and then it easily looks like convincing enough. But you know,
Mm.
the fact if his only notable thing is the Evil Dead trilogy, and you've only seen from the Evil Dead trilogy, go check out Bubba Ho-Tep. It's good, but
Yeah, it's
you
really
know,
good.
also knowing him just for Evil Dead trilogy is also good too. But
And
I don't
Spider
know.
Man.
Oh, and Spider Man. Yeah, he's in all three. He was gonna be I forget. Was he gonna be Vulture or was it gonna be
No,
no Mysterio?
he was good. Yeah,
Mysterio.
Mysterio,
Yeah,
and it was going to
Mysterio.
be confirmed that he was the same character in
Yeah,
every
yeah, yeah.
film.
And it would have been exactly like what they do in Far From Home, but better. That would have been so good. Ah,
I think Mysterio's fine in Far From Home.
he's okay. But you know, as Goggins said about my criticisms with Far From Home, that's long. Yeah, that's yeah,
Oh,
that's what
Glock.
Goggins said in response to my paragraph long critique of Far From Home. That was great.
Good old Gloggins.
Good old Goggins. Miss that man. Miss him. Wait, no, he
um,
is in
so,
House Ever, but you know, it's not the
oh,
same.
good.
It's not
Yeah.
the same. He's called
Ratings for Bubba
that
Ho-Tep.
comics one, but
Yeah.
yeah. Oh
Oh,
well.
yeah. So, what are we rating Bubba Ho-Tep?
Honestly, this discussion has tempted me to give it an 8, but for now, what was my rating for this? 75 out of 100 or 7 out of 10 for you simpletons? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I also gave it 3.5 as well. It might go up on a rewatch, but that won't be for a while. But I did enjoy it. It just wasn't what I was expecting as all.
Oh, hey,
But
hey.
it was still
We agreed on both the
pretty good.
ratings for this. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that worked. But yeah, that's the end of the podcast, everyone. Bye. Oh, wait. Hold on.
I
Uh,
didn't even get to say bye.
wait. There's a note here. What does it say?
There's
Uh,
a note.
well, my for some reason my notes are called Aftersun notes.
What?
Huh. Because I have Bubba Hotep notes and then barely any Hood of Horror notes, but there's a thing called Aftersun notes? Uh, wait.
Oh, okay. But
Oh, hey, wait,
why
wait, did you recently see Aftersun again?
did I watch it again? Yes, I did. I watched it the other day because you told me to. You forced me to. You forced my hand when I would rather have not watched it again so soon.
So, what were your initial thoughts on Aftersun?
You're such a prick, you know that? Oh, fuck's sake! Right. So After Sun, I saw it when like 3 weeks now, 3 weeks ago now. I saw
Yeah,
watched After Sun, 2022 film.
yeah.
Um,
The
at
critical darling.
my
Yeah.
university's film club, and that was the first film they were showing
Oh.
for the year.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah, first film they were showing for the year. I was there the first year. I'm in second year of uni now, so I'm a regular. So I went there, watched it, and I thought it was all right. I wasn't really getting the film, um, most of it, but at the ending, no, shut up, shut the fuck up. Let me finish. And
I haven't even said
when
words.
I
I just said sounds.
when I got to the end, when it gets to the end, which I'm already going into spoilers, and at the end with
Yeah,
the
major spoilers. Yeah.
dance scene, everything clicked. I was like the Danny DeVito meme, like, oh my god, I get it. Like I got it, but I was thinking back through other parts of the film where I felt like, well, that kind of just led to nowhere, or that didn't really mean anything to the overall thing that it's trying to say.
That's not even
But
true. It's
So when the film finished, I hashed it out with the people at the film club, and they were like going like real in depth to it, talking about like, oh, it was so like all the bits where he was suicidal. I was like, really, what? All of that? And like, yeah, I picked up on some of the stuff, but I got it. I got it in the end once we all talked about it. But I still feel like there were parts of it that I just thought didn't amount to much
well,
or
you're
didn't really
you
count
know what?
to all the stuff about the dad. So I shut up. I'm almost finished. So in the end, I settled on a 3.5 rating, and I said I probably need to watch it again. But it's probably a really good film. It's probably a really good film. I just need to watch it again. But I will
Mhm.
leave it at 3.5, which is generous. That's above a pass.
Mhm.
It's so I left it at 3.5,
Uh-huh.
and I thought that was over, and I called it a day. Then, then in comes this wanker who will take the
Hey.
floor now to talk from his side of the story. Go ahead.
All right, so I was like on Letterboxd, refreshing the page as I usually do, like twice or three times a day, and so I was checking, and I see,
Sad, sad boy.
well, it's three times a day. Some people have been on this, like, are chronologically on the site, like Kyler Cruz. Like, I'm not that type. Calm down. But yeah, oh, look, he's on there like 24/7. Jesus Christ. But I was refreshing my page because I was like in the middle of school, I think, or maybe I got home. But I was there, and I see, oh hey, Critic Watch Aftersun. Fantastic movie. I love that movie. Oh wait, hold on. 7 out of 10. And I read the review. And I'm like, oh, oh. It's like you didn't get it. It's like, oh,
I said I did get
no,
it.
you're like, no, but
You
no, I was
completely
confused.
ignored
I
my
was
point.
confused. I was like, wait, so you got it, but you also just didn't piece it together. You didn't get it, the rest of it, and you were like, oh, I didn't really appreciate the rest of the movie. Like how? It's well shot, even if you outside of the story. And there's also like
I
really neat bits here and there. I don't know how you couldn't mention that. And it's like, wow, it was such a short review, and it pissed me off. It grinded my gears. It grinded my gears, and I was completely befuddled, if you will. I was kerfuffled. Kerfuffled. I really wasn't. I was not pissed at all, but just pretend I was. So yeah, I was extremely pissed, extremely pissed. So I left a series of comments that were basically threats to a critic, um, basically threats in summarization, and I was very very pissed off. And then you commented on them. It's like, wait, what's your problem? And then that just became a back and forth where I kept mentioning Aftersun and how you need to rewatch it to understand the movie.
these last 3 weeks were torture. You weren't even this insistent when I gave 2001 a 3.5. You were not this insistent, but for some fucking reason, After Sun, like switched this lever in your head, and you went fucking nuts over this film. I didn't even give you this shit for Elvis, all right? Because I enjoyed Elvis. I liked it. I thought it was good. It was one of my favorites from last year. And you dropped the 1 star. That was fine. I made jokes about it. I made gifs. I quoted it just to piss you off, and we called it a day. That was playful negging. But the shit you put me through for the last 3 weeks has been ridiculous.
It's not that bad. It's fine. I don't.
It has. The server, the Perry server, is fed up with your bullshit. They hated it.
No, they didn't.
They did. Go ask Brian. You saw what Brian. He hated. He hates this. You
But yeah,
pissed everybody off. With this.
no, because at first I was doing it as a joke, but deep down I think I was like actually like, you didn't get it. You didn't get it.
I,
So I kept
I,
pestering about it, but then eventually became too much of a joke, and it fell outside of the purpose of it, which was a half joke, half not, and it just became just weird. It was a weird joke, and for some reason it was too serious, and you couldn't even tell if I was joking. But really, I was. I didn't care if you rewatched it. But then I was thinking, oh wait, if I'm bringing you onto my podcast, what if I just ask you to rewatch it? That's a good way instead of doing this joke. And so I did. And now we're here. And
Yeah,
I think
I
this
rewatched
is the
the film.
first time I think a critic has lost his fucking mind in a review. Besides, I know he has very critical, very long reviews. They're great, but also those are cohesive. This one was him being very angry, specifically at me. Hold on, can I read this review right now?
Oh, go right ahead.
Actually, can you read it like in the tone you want?
Ah, fine, right. Give me a second. Let me get it up.
It's because he has very casual reviews. I wouldn't say very aggressive most of the time, except for this
All right,
one.
here we go. Rewatch 12th of October 2023, Aftersun, from a 3.5 to 4 stars.
With heart.
I said, in all capitals, Alright, Xander, I watched it again. Is my rating to your satisfaction now? It better be. Now go watch Moulin Rouge, you fleam. And that's it.
Yeah, that was it. Now to any other person reading this review, that wouldn't make any fucking sense. But it
Mm-hmm.
does to me. It
It
does
does.
to
It does.
me.
It does to all. It's basically a Perry server review. Whenever any of you guys do a watch party and you just say stupid shit that only people who were there at the watch party will understand, or when someone does a Perry meme review. This is mine. This is the first one I've ever done where because all of my reviews, all of them, everybody can understand. This one is personal for everybody in the server. No one else outside will
This is
understand.
a very inside joke review. If you and I'm and we cleared the air here today. We cleared it.
Hmm. We're gonna clear the air now.
Yeah.
I hate this film now. Internally, I hate this film, but I cannot deny that it is good.
It's a
I
great
hate.
movie. It's a fantastic movie. Even it's it's unironically like my third favorite movie of 2022. It was fantastic movie, and I've seen like 122 2022 movies, so I know what I'm saying here. This is
Do you know what my third favorite film of last year was?
don't tell me.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't then.
Actually, no, do tell.
All right. It was weird. The Al Yankovic story
Okay, I
was my
was worried
third.
you were gonna say Elvis. I was like confused. Like, oh, is that what you're leading
Oh
with
no,
this?
no. Elvis was like in like the bottom top 10, or maybe it was in the top 5. I'm not sure, but it wasn't in the top 3. Top 3 was Weird Al, the Al Yankovic story. Number 2 was RRR, and then number 1 was Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, of course.
All five
A
star, all
James
5 star.
Gunn movie beats fucking
That, that
Aftersun.
that's fucking nothing to do with James Gunn. That's just Tom Cruise, baby. Fucking love that.
I mean, yeah, Top Gun Maverick is probably my top 15, top 10, I forget which. But yeah, this movie, Aftersun, great movie, but it's been overshadowed by me basically trying to get you to lose your shit, and I think it worked. I think it did. So I broke you.
Hmm.
I broke the man. But
You did. You
I also do want to actually talk about the movie because I
all
really
right.
do like the movie. So what are
Come on
your
then.
current thoughts as of now? Um,
Nothing's changed. All right.
so you
I,
did you appreciate
it's
the little
nothing.
details?
Well, go on, list them out, and then I will tell you if I caught them. All right? Because I'm pretty sure I got everything. But go ahead.
Yeah. So, do you know? Even this joke has been an inside joke. Day and night. Danis, fuck you, Danis. You've ruined day and night cycles for me. But yeah, the way After Sun uses day and night is like the literally same way of like representing the. It's kind of like Bruce Wayne and versus Batman, where I guess how do I say this?
You're
But
trying to
like
appeal to me using Batman, huh? I see how
no,
it
no, no,
is.
no, no, no. That's genuinely what I thought
Well,
because this is genuinely in my notes. This is back when I like rewatched it like a couple days ago. But yeah, I
okay.
was saying like Cullum, he was like he has two sides to him. The one that he puts up in front of his daughter and the one he puts up with himself. That's who he actually is. And the only time he's ever honest in the movie is when it's not through like this filtered screen, where through this like through the memory or through. Well, actually, it is in a memory, but it's still outside of that like camera screen, and it's out and it's in complete day because you see who he is at night or when he's not with Sophie, when he's by himself, when he has all his thoughts to himself. There's obviously the scene where it fades in from him being on top of this like mountaintop to fading into him crying uncontrollably in the corner. And then,
Mhm.
there's the dance room, which is both, I think, a metaphor for Sophie's mind, what he sees in his father, which is basically fractured ideas of him, because it's flashing. You don't get a complete picture of it all through
Mm.
day and night because it's only lights, but then complete darkness because you don't know truly what it was going through his head when the implication was that he committed suicide, and you don't know what
I mean, they
he.
don't know that he committed suicide. That's still left up in the air. But
Yeah,
when I talked about it with the people at the film club, that was what they all drew their conclusions to about the dad, that he killed himself.
yeah.
But the film never tells you that he did.
It's either that because he has the cast earlier in the movie where he's just like he never directly says where he says, "Oh, I just broke my arm. I've broken my leg before, but I never broke my arm." But that might be something else. That might have to do with something entirely different. That is like
And
covering up.
there's
Yeah,
also the bit where he walks across the road without even looking at the van that almost hits him.
yeah. That's a
Or
very important moment. That's like, oh, and then we just move on
or
from that.
there's there's the bit that where he's standing on top of the railing on the balcony in the hotel room. There's that
Yeah,
bit as well.
there's that bit, and there's also the fact that he just there's just moments where he's just sitting alone and just staring off while Sophie does something else, and it's like, oh. And then there's a
I
part
think
where
the bit
they're at the boat, and
where
this guy
yeah.
he mentions about how like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a baby. It's like I didn't imagine I'd have a baby, but at this age. And then Column says, oh, I never imagined I'd even live to 30. I'm surprised I even went that far. And that's just such a
Mm.
fucking cold line in among this very normal scene, and it's weird because because there's a couple times where we deviate from Sophie's perspective a bit,
Hmm.
or it might be just like Sophie overhearing this, and it's just like unclear. Because when Sophie's out and kisses the boy that night after the embarrassing karaoke night, he
Yeah.
just goes out, grabs a smoke from the pathway, and just walks along. And that's like the only part of that's only like the small bits of the real Column that we see from like this different perspective. And
Yeah.
throughout the movie, there's a heavy usage of video camera footage where he this is there's memories, and as the fucking I guess tagline says, memories fade, and so it's this unclear picture because you're looking throughout this almost entire story through Sophie's eyes, through Sophie's camera recorder, through
Hmm.
because there's even scenes where when Column's like smoking out in the balcony near the beginning of the movie, we zoom into that because Sophie is out of focus, she's out of the frame by the time the shot finishes because she has no idea about this. But even if she did see some of it, it's through this window. You don't see the full picture. There's also like heavy usages of windows and doorways and cameras that are like peering in. They're like sort of getting in there. But the problem is you never get that full picture, and what makes the whole film sad in the end is that he dances and he never answers her because it switches between an older version of Sophie and a younger version of Sophie in that final scene, and
Hmm.
it's basically like trying to figure out and her desperately basically trying to piece together, but eventually he falls and you never see him again. There's also that constant motif of him sinking, because there's obviously the scene where he just walks into this dark abyss but you can tell by the sound design that yeah, that's waves, that's the ocean, and presumably he takes a swim. He doesn't actually kill himself at that part, but
No, because he.
because he comes
Which bit is
back.
this?
This is
Yeah,
around
he
because
passed out
that's
on the bed in the hotel room.
Yeah, this is when he goes out the night when Sophie goes out on her own as well.
Hmm.
But he makes it back. But that's sort of a contemplation because the way that was shot feels sort of dreamlike, and that's outside of Sophie's perspective, so we can assume that this is objectively what he's thinking about right now because he's so far away from Sophie that I don't think Sophie would even remember this. Or maybe this is what
Mm.
Sophie thinks is happening. Maybe that's what she's thinking. I have no idea. And that's what makes the movie so mysterious to me. Because you can sort of find the thematic implications of everything and, like, oh, this is what this means and this is what this means. But even you got the details right, the tiny details, you're like, wait, what does that mean? Is this actually from her perspective? Is it from his perspective? What's going on? And the fact that you're unclear about everything is kind of what makes it really interesting to rewatch. But even on a first viewing, it's just kind of heartbreaking because you just don't. You realize, oh right, this is it. This is this is their last dance. This is this is it, and this is what happens. And you're gonna have to face the fact that he's dead, and she has to keep going some way.
Mm.
And there's also the bits and pieces of the coming of age aspects because we learned that Sophie is, I think, I think she's bisexual because she has a girlfriend but also kisses a boy, or maybe she's questioning things because she also watches some gay couple kiss, and it's
Hmm.
like there's that.
A lot of people kiss in the film.
Weird. Yeah. There's one where there's one part where she's in the bathroom and then these girls mention sex. That's an interesting scene. The
That's
and
that's all the bits that I was just lost on because I get all the stuff with Callum with the dad and all his
uh-huh.
stuff. I get that stuff. I just don't understand what all the stuff that Sophie does in the film is meant to be. I don't know what it's all supposed to mean.
I think it's sort of a way of that she's like she's distancing herself away from her father because she's still like kind of a child in that way, and she went on this trip because of him, and so but by the time the vacation ends, she's learning to try to grow up, to grow out of this. But at the same time, parallel to the story, she can't grow out of the trauma from her dad's death, and that's sort of like a paradox in of itself, where it leaves you questioning like, does she? How far can you move away from someone? How can you leave something like that behind, that close relationship, and then not know, having to like go back and forth between that, being stuck in the past basically, or moving on with your life, growing up. And that's a interesting way of going about a coming of age story, because there's relationships like that with parents where it's like they're so physically tied to their parents, and so it's like hard to keep away from them, but at the same time you love them, you care about them, so like what what are you supposed to do? And then that movie
Mm.
also poses that question, which I'm not clear on myself, but that is what the film is presenting. So I will say that.
All right.
Do you have anything else to say on it?
Um, what about the scene where Sophie's mother calls and she hands the phone over to her dad so that he can talk to the mum?
Well, yeah,
Not sure
there's
what that.
the call
Not sure what
itself.
that.
You don't know what's going on in the call, right?
Mm.
And so we're just like, oh, this is because this means nothing to her. She doesn't know what's like going on, and so we're viewing it from her perspective. But then you hear final bits like, "I love you." It's like, wait,
Yeah,
you're divorced.
that bit.
Yeah, you're divorced. So why do you care about her? It's like, because she's family, and that I care about. Which also ties into the whole family versus becoming your own person type of shit involved in the movie. I don't know about
Hmm.
that either, but I'm still thinking like, yeah, because Colin still deep down still kind of loves his ex-wife, but you know, I guess he doesn't know how to say anything, and he doesn't really. I guess he just feels distant. He feels far away, and so wants to feel any type of connection, which is why he went on this trip in the first place before he killed himself or presumably killed himself. And
Mm.
I don't. because if you're asking me about that side of the story, I'm unclear on that as much as you are, but it is presenting this info, and I do see where it's going with it. Whereas you just saying like, "Oh, this is what's happening," but why is that? Because the film is very vague because it's intrinsically very human. Because humans don't explain their trauma; they don't explain why they're that way,
Mm.
and you just have to imply these things or cleverly introduce them, which is why um, I guess info dumping is so infamous in movies because you want to feel that natural uh, sort of conclusion to everything. But this takes it
Mm.
to like such an extreme that some would obviously not get it at first, like you. So yeah, I'm not actually like mad at you for not liking it at first. In fact, I would completely
Didn't even
understand.
I didn't even say I didn't like it. I said this probably is a good film. I just need to watch it again. And
Yeah,
you
no,
went
I I,
fucking
res- I,
ballistic.
re- I, re- I respected that, but also at the same time, I also did that, and so I don't. I mean, it was funny to me, but sorry about that. Still,
Uh,
it's that's basically what my thoughts are on Aftersun.
There's some very well constructed thoughts there,
Yeah,
Linda.
yeah. After three watches, you get to have very cohesive thoughts on the movie. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. As for the other two movies, the actual main things, those are good too. Sure, sure. Well, maybe not
Oh,
Hood of Horror,
that's
but yeah, yeah. We got to the end here. See, last time we had a very long was it the rambling hour, but surprisingly, besides the Elvis rant, we were surprisingly restrained here.
Mhm.
Let's change that actually.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Um. Okay. So I know I have next episode I have more horror shit, but I don't know. Uh, have you watched like anything else besides like these main horror stuff? Well, I guess After Sun you could call a horror movie. Sure, let's go with that. Um,
Wait, just asking me what stuff I've watched recently.
yeah, it's the stuff what you've watched recently. Because remember last time we were like talking about like other 2022 movies or 2023 movies. I remember that. I think that's what we did last time.
Yeah, we went off on like a bit about recent stuff from this year. Stuff I've watched recently. Well, just before I hopped on the podcast, I finished the last episode of Archer, which came out this Wednesday,
Oh,
and I
I'm
watched it.
actually You can have spoiler free thoughts, but like, I know you said something about how the season felt off. Could you explain that? Um,
Archer season 14, final season. It has been fun. It has been as fun as it has been since season 11 after
uh
they
huh.
dropped the
The
shit.
coma stuff, yeah.
I don't want to get into that right now.
Ugh.
Uh, maybe if you watch it, we could do a dumps episode about all 14 seasons.
But yeah, maybe someday, someday.
I mean, you did do the community one, right?
Yeah, but
That was a
that's
dumps episode.
like 6 seasons, and that's like the longest the dumps episodes. Wait, no, actually no. The SML one is actually fuck.
Um, what was it? Oh yeah, so Archer season 14.
Yeah,
I I really like the show. I think I've made that quite clear to
you've
people
made that quite
who know.
clear. Yeah,
I think it's probably my favorite adult animated show that
really.
I've personally.
Huh.
Yeah, I think it's slightly well, because BoJack Horseman does more stuff. Hey, 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 hey,
I'm sorry.
hey.
I'm sorry.
Uh,
I'm sorry. I can't take this show seriously anymore. I'm sorry.
have you? I don't. You've only seen it. You've only seen like the first two seasons, right?
No. I've seen the whole
Oh, you've
show twice.
seen the whole. Oh shit! Right, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Okay. Um, 'Cause BoJack Horseman is more serious. It does
It
more
does.
because
Yeah, that's certainly.
it presents itself as like a as every other kind of adult animated
It
show in
has
like the first
struggles with
couple
that tone
seasons.
for like 3 seasons. It's weird.
No, another three seasons. When it gets to season one, episode 8, that's when like it
No, they
reveals that it
switches
pulls.
back. No, I
Oh,
hate. Okay, I hate the end of Downer ending. I'm gonna rant about this, but I love Downer ending except for that fucking ending where they're like,
Oh, that's episode 11. Episode 11's always like the
yeah,
really
episode
like
11s are
shit.
always so heavy, and then at the end they're doing a
Yeah,
fucking joke. I hate it.
I that's but I kind of don't mind it. It's kind of like black comedy almost, where you kind of like pitifully laugh at it because it's just so pathetic, and you just have to like, "Ugh," or I
Well,
don't
I
know.
guess you
I
can
don't
sort of
mind.
tie it into like what he's asking, where it's like, can I be a better person? But he can't escape, the horsing around legacy, I guess. But also,
Exactly.
you could have done that with a lot more taste, I think, if you, because I think the goofy voice just adds to the fucking painfulness of that final joke, where it just sucks. It sucks the life out of that very powerful ending. Like,
I mean, I didn't mind
hey,
that bit
aren't
because
you
I've
the
seen
horse from horsing around? Like,
back in the 90s, I was in a very famous TV show. Like I don't even mind. I didn't even mind the joke. I've seen the show like 2 times through now, and I don't mind that bit. But the way you guys like lost your shit over that one like 3 second bit, just like kind of made me like, what are you guys talking about? It was just like a bit, just a three
I
second.
just don't think it fits. If they were gonna do it, I think they could have delivered it better. That's what I'm saying. Like, it couldn't. They could have removed that goofy voice, but then someone else comes up to ask, and they just say, "Hey, aren't you the horse from horsing around?" And there's a silence. I don't want like that immediate cut to credits. I want that silence to linger a bit longer after even that joke, and
Possibly.
that
Uh,
could have worked
what was
much better. So I
What
don't
was I
know.
saying? Oh yeah, no. BoJack Horseman does more experimental things, and it is more mature and does a lot more serious things and handles a lot. That's fair enough. It
Yeah.
is funny as well, but BoJack Horseman is funny. Though Archer is is blatantly a comedy. It doesn't
Yeah,
have any
no,
dramatic.
definitely. Because I've seen the first two episodes. I do not see any dramatic, like. Well, I mean, there must be, like, good dramatic storytelling in it for you to like it. But
There
even
is.
then, it's still light. It's still a lot more lighter than, like, Bojack
It's
Horseman.
incredibly light.
Yeah.
It tells all its backstory, all his like traumatic. Because Archer is a seriously messed up character. He is
Oh. Yeah, no, I
fucking
expected that.
horrible.
That's, like, both basically every adult animated main character.
Well, when you put it like that, I kind of like, yeah, yeah, um, yeah. He's got so much shit. They tell all his backstory through like horrible jokes
Oh,
about his
no.
childhood. It's great, but there's like underlying stuff through Archer that everybody is changing as a character, but they don't draw attention to it. It's weird, and that kind of lines up with the humor of the show because in like the first 7 seasons of Archer, which are the best ones,
Yeah.
um everybody is so fucking horrible to each other and is saying the most like horrible things to each other, and it's hilarious and it's great. But then there's the coma season break, and then there's season 11, and everything is off. Everybody is
Oh.
nicer to each other. Not everybody is like nicer, slightly nicer to each other, not all the way. And they bring
Uh-huh.
attention to this that maybe Archer is the weakling. He's because they question that now he's out of a coma. Everybody is starting to like fuck up and be shit at their jobs again, and they're thinking that maybe he's the weak link. But
Oh. Oh, that's actually really fucking dark. Jesus Christ. Okay.
but he kind of isn't. And then season 12 is really good for the characters. I'll be honest. That goes like real heavy into the character stuff.
Uh-huh.
And everybody starts growing and is nicer to each other. In the season 13 finale, everybody works together and nobody's like shitting on each other. Nobody at this point in the show, it's been 13 seasons now. Nobody is horrible to each other. Nobody is like saying horrible shit about each other. It's just playful negging. Everyone is just being like playful, and no one's taking it seriously. No one's saying horrible things, and that has
Uh-huh.
slightly impacted the comedy of the show somewhat. It
Oh.
because it is funny. The show is still funny, but it's not like laugh out loud funny like it was in the first 4 or 7 seasons.
I
But
guess
it is
like
still
the fact that it was like such a mean show is what made it funny. I guess is that what you're saying? In that way?
um yeah, pretty much. If there is a great shift in the tone and style of the jokes in the first 7 seasons compared to the last 4. And
Yeah.
rounding back up to the latest season,
Mhm.
it feels very light now. It feels very light and fluffy, and I think that's fine because it works on a character level. As a show,
Uh huh.
I kind of sacrifices the the mean spirited nature it used to have. But I think it's fine for the characters because I like the characters and I like that they've grown and they're doing stuff.
Mhm.
But this last season I'm conflicted on because it has been fun, but it's also
It's the final
hasn't
season.
felt. Yeah,
So.
it's the final season. It hasn't really felt like one. And they introduced a new character to the main cast who is
Oh.
really rather annoying.
It,
I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt in the first two episodes, but then afterwards, when she fully settles in as a member, I was like, not that great.
it's kind of
And the
like the
final,
bad version of what they do in like Mission Possible: Dead Reckoning when they introduce Haley Atwell. Is it kind of like that?
but no, but Haley Atwell was
That's what I'm
genuinely
saying. I'm
good.
saying no. That's what I'm saying. Like she's great in that, but like this is like the
She's really
weaker
good.
version of it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, kinda. She, I don't know. She feels like she came from the earlier seasons of the show because she has the exact same style,
Uh
tone, and
huh.
like bile in all the jokes and stuff that she says to everybody. She feels like it came from the earlier seasons of the show, and everyone is like slightly because the characters acknowledge that she is slightly annoying, but there's never anything done with that. Just sort of like
That's
accept
weird to
and move on.
introduce like a character that reminds of like the older style of the show, despite everyone else acting like the newer style of the show. That's weird. Uh,
No, it is, but they don't really do anything with it. She's just kind of there, and
no.
she's like how the characters used to be in the earlier seasons,
Oh.
but it's just off. It's weird. I mean, it's not horrible, but I'm just wondering if there's any deeper meaning to it. Because the
That's
show is deceptively good at its character stuff and the old stuff, but it's just weird this season. And there's a lot of stuff about Archer like getting old. She, the new character, makes like many cracks about him being old.
uh,
But the
oh.
thing is, he has not aged. Physically, he has not aged at all
Oh.
from the very, very first episode of the show.
What?
Nobody's grown up or aged at all in the entire show. Everybody is staged the exact same physically.
That's weird.
In the in, in the pilot episode of the show, it is confirmed that Archer is 36 years old, and it has been roughly at least 10 or 15 years
What the
in the
fuck?
show.
What the fuck?
The timeline of the show is like so fucked. It doesn't take place in one single time period. It like kind of mashes a lot of stuff together.
Huh? What?
It's unclear when the show takes place because they drive around in 1970s cars
Oh.
and they have like
Oh.
1960s technology, but then they also have like modern day smartphones. And
What?
Archer references the Predator while they're in like
What?
1960s stuff. It
What?
is while they have like 1960s computers and he's talking referencing the Predator. It's weird. Yeah, no, the timeline is bonked, but I feel like the episode where they talk about Archer getting old just doesn't hit home because he doesn't look he looks the exact same as he has the entire show, and everyone else is not aged at all. It's bizarre.
Oh.
And the final episode today that I watched, um, because it ends kind of on a cliffhanger. I
Wait, I
don't know
thought
what
this
to
is the
think.
series finale though. What?
I it's a good season finale. I don't know if it's a good show finale, like an overall ending, because
Okay, if it's a season finale, that could be fine as a cliffhanger. But
I
as a
I
series finale, don't you think you would want to wrap up everything? Like,
I know you do because they wrap up a long like a series long run character. There's Barry, who's been in the show since the first season. He's been a recurring villain, and
oh
he
yeah,
got
voiced by
redeemed.
Chris
A couple.
Parnell. Hey.
No. Chris Parnell voices Cyril Figgis, who is the accountant of the spy
Oh, that's his
agency.
name?
I'm talking.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
Damn.
Cyril. No, Barry is completely different. He's been a recurring villain since the first series, and he got redeemed a couple seasons ago, and he showed up again and he's had his final episode in this season, and it was really good. And I thought, okay, that was a good wrap up to Barry. I like Barry. It was a good wrap up, and nothing else really seems to wrap up in the season. Like, mild spoilers because you haven't seen it, but
Yeah.
Archer and Lana is his main love interest who works at the spy agency that he's had a thing for. They've been on and off. They have a child, and
Oh,
she does
oh.
not mentioned. no, she's mentioned, but we never see her again. We see her in season 13 quite a bit,
Wh-
but she is nowhere to be seen in season 14. She's only mentioned, and I feel like I and Archer and Lana don't even get together, which I thought that was what they were trying to
Wait,
move
no,
towards
wouldn't
in the
that be?
last couple of seasons.
Cause I know like they're like the main love. I thought that would. wh- That seemed
Well,
like it
they
was
get
appropriate, like to put
well,
them together. So.
yeah, because they because at the start of the show in season one, they broke up before the show started, and they're just like horrible to each other until the fifth season where they start to like get back together.
Uh
And they
huh.
break up again in season seven, and that bit was
It's
not
like a
good.
back and forth. Oh no.
And then there's the coma seasons where he went into a coma,
Oh.
and then when he gets out of the coma, it's been 3 or 5 years, and he gets out of the coma, and his Lana's married to someone else now,
Oh.
and yeah, and it takes like 2 seasons for her to get rid of the person that she's married to. But then
Uh oh.
she never like goes to Archer. She never like gets back together with him. And in the final season, he's still like hitting on like random other random women and the new teammate. It's weird, and she never
What?
says anything.
What?
I
This
know
is
it
a very
is. Like
confusing final season that you're describing
it is
here.
very because in season 13 they had a very nice episode where they were like raising their child together, and she was all teenager and she was getting along with both her parents. But I just don't understand what they're doing. But but
But
they're having Archer is having a panel at New York Comic Con this weekend,
wait,
and
what? Oh.
there's a panel they're going on. I don't know what they're showing. They haven't revealed what they're showing, but I hope because I was
Wait,
thinking about
wait.
this.
I'm thinking about this. If this is the final season, they're doing a movie. Are they doing an actual movie?
I, I don't know what they're doing, but I want to know what's gonna
Oh my
happen because they
god.
can't. Because this is a good season finale, but as an ending to the show, it no, I need more. It can't end like this.
Yeah, no,
I
cause like
need
that would be like
need to
ending
know
a
if there's a
show. So,
movie.
it'd be like a canceled show that has a really sad cliffhanger. Like, oh fuck, I'm never gonna see anything from that. Like,
I know
well, if they're
it's
having a panel, really, the only other thing is either they're announcing another season, which wouldn't make any sense,
no.
or
So
th-
this has been advertised
they've
as
been
the
advertised
final
as the final
season.
season. So like, is it like they're doing the movie? Because if they do, then that would make way
I
more sense.
I that's what I've been thinking about because I was like, oh, okay, well, there's only like 8 episodes to the last 4 seasons. Okay, they got 8 episodes here. I got to the before I clicked on the final episode, I was like, this is the last episode. Every other episode's been 20 minutes long. Is this one going to be extended? Because I feel like there's more stuff you could do. I hope they make it extended. It's not. It's 20 minutes.
Oh,
The same length.
what the
Same
fuck?
length as all the other episodes of the rest of the show. It's 20 minutes long.
Oh my god.
And it's a good episode on its own as a season finale to season 14. But as it just doesn't work as an overall end to the show.
Yeah,
And
because what
I
you're
hope
describing
whatever
here
they
just feels like a build up to something for like a movie. Like this is
if that's what they reveal at the panel,
I
because I feel like I was hoping for like a tease for a film at the end of the episode because I feel like it's weird to reveal that at a Comic Con panel instead of at the end of the episode. It's weird,
that yeah, that's
but
weird.
I don't know. We'll have to see what they will have to see what they show at the Comic Con panel. But I'm fingers
Uh,
crossed. I am hoping for a movie to finish this.
you got
But I
me
seriously thought
invested
somebody
in this Archer movie before I even watched the full show. That's great.
I seriously thought someone was gonna die this season, and it looked like someone was going to in the final episode, but they don't. I got my hopes up.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Man,
As a in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't a bad season. It's not as bad as the coma seasons. I think
I guess.
uh it's weaker than series. It's about on the same length as level as season 11, though. I like that a lot more because it's more character, a lot
Oh,
more solid character wise.
all right.
But yeah, that's my little quick ramble about Archer that kind of went on for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, final season. I'm still mixed about it. I'm gonna see what other people have been saying about it online,
But
just to
yeah,
fully
yeah, no,
get a
cause
perspective on it.
if this is really it, then like that'd be a weak ending. But if it's just a lead into something else, then that's like, yeah, it's okay. It's like a solid season. So it really just depends on what the fuck happens at this convention, whatever it is.
I I I, I really hope. there's something else coming.
They're building up. They gotta, cause they can't. It's like ending with just Infinity War and then just leaving it like that.
I don't
Like,
know. Some people like that it ended miserable. That for
well,
all
actually,
how
I
cool they
kind
are
of
in the
want
other
that.
film.
I kind of want that, but at the same time, they could have just made Endgame a good movie, but they didn't. So, well, unlike, well,
Endgame's good.
I mean, both of us probably cried when we first saw it, but I
It's
digress.
still a good. It wraps up quite a lot of stuff pretty good. Um,
No, not really.
I'd
But
have to I'd have to watch it again. I haven't seen it in like 3 years. Right.
really, 3 years? Oh
Yeah,
wow.
3 years. I've seen it like 3 times. I saw it once in the cinema. I saw it once on my own at home, and then I watched it a third time with my grandmother because I made her watch the entire MCU.
Oh yeah. Yeah, cause I remember like yeah, you said you cried when you first saw it in theaters. I did too, which
Hmm.
I was unsurprised because I was a big fan at the time. And then Phase 4 happened, so
Yeah.
yippee! God.
And to think, I was actually happy that they were going to do more stuff after Endgame. I was like, oh, they're still going? All right, I want to see some more. They're going to do a Loki show? I want to see the Loki show. They're going to do a show about WandaVision? I want to see that. I want to see it. They're going to do Blade again? I'll see it. Eternals? I don't know who they are, but I think they'll do a good job. I want to see what the Eternals is like.
Oh God. the
Funny
only
that.
the only project that released among that list is one that's probably gonna be delayed 5,000 times because of the script keeps on getting
Oh,
rewritten.
we're never seeing Blade.
We're
No,
never
that's
seeing
never.
Blade. Marshall Ali's like fucking fighting the fucking crew. Like, no, I don't want this script. Rechange it. And then they're holding it, rewriting it, and then they're shooting it, and then they're not shooting it. They keep going back
Hmm.
and forth. Just fucking do the movie already. But also, it's probably gonna suck
No,
anyway. Fuck.
if it's not bloody and it doesn't have vampires
If I
and there's no
see, I swear to
no
God,
techno music.
I
If
swear to
there's no
God,
techno music, no vampires, then
I'm
you
done.
didn't make a
I'm
play.
done. No, I'm done. If I see a fucking PG-13 in the corner on like releasing April 13th, I'm gonna be like screaming my fucking head off. You can't do that. You can't do a
Well, well, they
PG-13 Blade movie.
well they said as soon as Deadpool 3 releases, which will be a
That'll
15
be a disaster.
or an
Fuck.
R rating,
Maybe.
they a 15 over here in the UK,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
an R rating for you Americans.
See, I know about your British
Um,
system, okay? I'm not that stupid. Yeah.
all right. So they said that's going to be an MCU film still, and that's going to have an R rating. So maybe they're gonna experiment more with R-rated films. I think once
Marvel
Deadpool
always
3 is
said they've
out.
been experimenting since like 2020. Stop lying to yourself. God damn it.
They didn't
Oh my
experiment. They just
god!
went in,
Just so you
no
know,
plan.
Werewolf by Night was originally in color, by the way. It was not meant to be in black and white somehow. That was so
I,
stupid.
I didn't watch that.
Well, apparently people praised the first black and white cinematography when it was not even intended to be that way. So that's gotta hurt for those who like that show, that special. Yeah,
Mm.
special Marvel presentation. That's what it's called, or whatever. Which, oh,
I still didn't watch it. That's like one of the only Marvel things I've not seen.
and then Multiverse of Madness felt like PG-13, like for real, instead of like PG but with mild violence. But even then, I mean that's a stupid movie. I mean I enjoyed it at first, but like it's
I did
stupid.
not. I hated it the first time I saw it,
You
and I
did?
just like no.
Oh man, I
Yeah,
think.
I saw it in the cinema, and I was pissed off the entire time.
Oh wow,
Oh,
that was
you
that was the opposite for
ruined
me.
one, and then you just did all that to those Illuminati members. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see
okay.
how it is.
They just turned. They just turned one of them into string cheese. Blew off one of their heads. One died because of
Hmm.
a fucking statue, even though they're fucking the Captain Marvel equivalent. How the fuck does that happen? I don't know. Uh,
Oh shit! Yeah, Captain Marvel in the other universe just dies by falling rubble.
yeah. And then
Woo.
and then fucking Haley Atwell's grand return, and she instantly fucking gets snapped by the neck. Well, no, she gets hit by the fucking shield. That's what it was. So I'm
Yeah,
not
no, she
pushing it.
throws the shield at Wanda, but then she throws it back, and it just like goes straight through her
I was thinking
fucking
of
gut.
Professor Xavier's death. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
that
I was like,
death
oh,
was weird.
like that. How do we get back onto Marvel again?
This always happens. I hate Marvel.
I don't want to talk about Marvel.
I don't want to talk about Marvel either. I said I was done after Volume 3. I was done after Guardians Volume
Let's
3.
drop the subject.
Fine then.
Right there. No more Marvel. DC though. James Gunn. Woo.
No.
He about he about to he about to fix this whole universe, maybe.
You're
He about
setting your expectations too high. You're gonna be really sad when this new universe is gonna suck.
he's coming in with the clutch. All right.
No, he
Look at
isn't.
all. Why do you say it? Why do you say this?
I just
He's got a
don't
great.
believe that.
He's got a great track record. Look at everything he has done. Look, he has the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, all solid. They are
Okay, well,
perfect. They're
okay. First two movies, great. Three, I'm still. Mm, I don't know. I don't know about that.
there's there's so much connective tissue and continuing themes and great character arcs that are just like woven through all three films and the other films that aren't Guardians films that they appear in. It is great. That trilogy is up there with the best superhero
They're
trilogies. It's
not
up there with
perfect. They're
Sam.
not perfect. Stop lying. Stop lying. They are not.
It's up there with the Dark Knight trilogy and Sam Raimi's Spooderman,
Okay,
and
hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. The Raimi trilogy is perfect. It's perfect.
yeah,
I get you on that. But not the
yeah.
Dark Knight trilogy. Stop lying.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah. Hey. I'm the first to say that trilogy has got one weak link to that, and that's the Dark Knight
I
Rises.
am
All right.
not the first one to say that that has a weak link. Everyone fucking agree. Well, no, not everyone.
Not
Some
everybody.
certain people with Day and Ness in their name really like Dark Knight Rises. But I
Mm,
that movie, even when I first watched it, when
yeah.
I was less critical, I was like, "Is this a real movie? This is what the end of the trilogy is?" Like, cause I watched Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, cause those are the most widely accessed for like a while. Like, The
hmm
Dark Knight Rises was just never on streaming services until like recently. Like, it appeared on Netflix, then it appeared on Hulu, then it appeared back on Netflix. It was weird. And I was like, that was
Mm.
surreal, because back when I was like younger, I was like, oh man, I can't watch The Dark Knight Rises. I'm so sad. And then, I pirated it, then I got the Blu-ray and rewatched it. And then it was on Netflix. I'm not rewatching it again. It's not gonna be like Elvis. That's not happening. But
I think I prefer Batman Forever to the Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, that's my
wait,
controversial opinion of the
you know,
episode.
I okay. I don't know if anyone holds this take, but I think Forever, like Batman Forever, is like a genuinely good movie. I think I still stand by that. I still think that.
I respect that. I mean, it's not great, but
Oh no, it's not
I
great. I'm gonna say that.
I had quite a bit of fun with it, and there was quite a lot of stuff I enjoyed in Batman Forever. You know,
I kind of like
I mean,
what they do with Robin in
Christopher
that
Nolan's
movie.
Robin.
I like
Robin
what.
fucking sucks in those two movies, but
No. In Forever,
I
he's
didn't.
pretty good. I like what they do with him. You know.
Mm, he's not. I mean, yeah, he's way better than he is in Batman and Robin.
Oh, Batman Robin. Oh, well that's a bad movie, but
That,
even
that one
then.
is that one is poo poo.
But that one's still funny, so I don't know.
Yeah, they're still funny.
It is called one of the funniest bad movies ever made, so I don't. It's
I
true.
wish Joel Schumacher got to make his third Batman film.
Yeah, no, that shit sounded fucking awesome. It's like called the
Nicolas Cage as Scarecrow.
yeah, and then
They
like
were gonna
all
do
the Batman villains coming back, and then
They were gonna do a riff on The Dark Knight Returns. Joel Schumacher was gonna do an adaptation of The Dark Knight
that
Returns,
would have been
and we were
insane.
fucking robbed.
We were robbed of that because you all didn't see Batman and Robin. You should regret that. Damn you.
They said no.
If
Reboot Batman.
really, if you know,
Reboot Batman.
you know, I think Batman and Robin really did change the course of superhero movies when you think about it. That sucks.
I mean, yeah, without Batman and Robin in being as bad as it is, we wouldn't have gotten the Christopher Nolan trilogy.
That is true. Yeah, and then Christopher Nolan set off the worst style of filmmaking in modern superhero movies. 'Cause-
Oh, there's a lot of film bros who are gonna be after you now.
well, no, I love Christopher Nolan. His latest movie is my favorite one from him. So I'm like, I don't, I don't hate the guy. I just hate what he did to superhero movies because now they're all gray and color graded like that. Because everyone's looking for serious superhero movies and they couldn't embrace the campiness.
The cinematography in the Dark Knight, that's some awesome cinematography. That film is lit and shot so well. Like
Oh
the
yeah,
the
no,
scene in the scene in the interrogation cell in the police station. That bit is lit like it's so crisp looking.
it's so
It's
good,
so crisp
so good,
looking.
so good.
It is. It's so crisp looking. Nothing in the MCU looks that crisp except for the James Gunn films and the
Well,
Avengers.
um, okay. Is it just
Look at all
I
the.
love Volume 2. I think that's my favorite of the trilogy, but also some of the CG looks a bit weird in there. I don't know. Feels a bit off.
Mm.
But
I'd have
even
to
then,
watch.
I,
I'd have to
I,
watch
I
that
would
again though.
agree that James Gunn is the best director working in the MCU. Yeah.
Yeah, his films like capitalize on the color. The
Hmm.
colored so well, especially the third one
Oh, the
has
third one has
such
really good
great set.
colors. Yeah. So good.
There is so many good colors. It makes it fun to watch. It is also interesting to look at for 2 hours compared to Civil War, which looks so fucking dull.
Silver just wrote your name on his list. So, yeah.
That wasn't a slight on the writing of the film. That was a slight on the look of the film. The look of the film is boring
Is it just me?
compared to something like.
Is it just me, or is it like I hate the Russo brothers except for what they did on Community. Everything they did on Community looks so good, especially for
Yeah,
TV. And then
but
they
then again,
went to
that's
work
also
on Marvel movies, and then they did
they're
the
great.
they
They're great.
did the
Well, they're
hand
great
cam
directors.
shit.
They can move a camera really well and they direct stuff, but it's just the cinematography and the colors is just dull. Is the
I
problem.
just
I'm not got
hate
nothing
the
wrong
way
with
the
the.
action is shot. Because I feel there's no rhythm to it. There's no impact to it. It's just like shaky, shaky, shaky. Because they sort of popularized the whole like realistic, grounded, shaky cam esque fucking fighting. Well, at least they made it even more popular than it already was after like Paul Greengrass and. Uh,
Mm. You ever seen
uh,
United '93?
oh no,
Oh fuck me,
that's a great movie. But like,
that is a great film. But fuck me, do I hate the camera work in that film?
yeah, some of it looks really bad. I don't, I don't get what they were doing there, but
Mhm.
yeah, no, I blame
Well,
Paul
that
Greengrass and the Russo brothers for the death of cinema. I don't. I really don't. But yeah.
or Jason Bourne. That's all the handheld camera bullshit. I think that was also Paul Greengrass who did Jason Bourne.
Yeah,
Give
he
me a
did.
second.
That's why I was referencing him,
Yeah.
because it was all Jason Bourne's fault. I hate it.
Yeah, and that also bled into the Daniel Craig Bond films as well,
Oh
especially with Quantum of Solace.
no. Oh
Fucking hell,
no.
Quantum of Solace.
Oh
But back to James
no.
Gunn. Back to James Gunn. He's gonna put the DC universe back on track. I already like what he's gonna plan. It all looks good, and I'm
Yeah,
incredibly
the
excited.
start of the new DCU slate was The Flash. Oh. Oh.
Ah, no, 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 Chief. It's what's the first
Aquaman
Superman
and
Legacy?
nope, it's
No, Superman
Aquaman. Don't
Legacy.
forget Aquaman 2. It's
No,
happening.
no, no. That's part of the old one. All right, fucking leave that out of there.
No,
It's
no, no. It's
it's
part of the new one. It's
no.
under when he was under the reins. It's gonna release when he's under the reins of the company. So it's technically all his fault.
But
Sorry.
that's no, that's not part of the new DCU that he's cooking up. That's still part of the old
Well,
regime because
no, the old DCU needs to still connect to the DCU. So sorry, it's
yeah,
still
yeah,
connected.
it got reset. It's got reset in the Flash,
So then
where
what
all
is wait then what is Aquaman 2 about? No, like genuinely, what is it
it's.
about? Uh,
I don't know what it's about. I've not watched the trailer,
I think I
but
watched
it
like that. I watched the teaser for the teaser. I didn't watch the trailer.
it's still part of the old DC canon because there was that thing that they said that they're not bringing any of the old actors back. Like Gal Gadot's not coming back as Wonder Woman, which fucking stings. Ezra
Well,
Miller's not coming back as
well,
Flash. Ben
actually,
Affleck,
I
Henry
don't have
Cavill,
enough knowledge
Rachel Moore.
on the fucking DC universe. I'm more knowledge in Marvel, but yeah.
That's
Uh,
fair enough. Yeah, but no, none of the original Justice League actors are coming back for their
uh-huh.
roles, which is why someone said, "Oh, Jason Momoa, maybe he'll be recast as Lobo, the DC space
Well,
bounty
that's what
hunter."
he wants apparently. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd be a perfect fit. So I think once Aquaman 2's out of the way, we're gonna get Superman Legacy, and then it will we're zooming into the future of finally good DC films again. Um,
I don't believe you.
Superman Legacy. Oh, why don't you believe me? Have a little faith. James Gunn's track record is solid. All right,
Have you seen his older
Guardians
films?
film. I've not seen his older films. I
Have you
really
not
want to watch
watched
Super.
Super? Yeah, Super's. Um. I'll just say it involves pedophilia. That's all I have to say.
Oh,
Yeah.
surely that's for laughs, right?
Um. Uh. You'll have to see for yourself. Yeah. Um.
All right then. There's also
Uh,
Slither, which I've not seen. We all know his work on the Scooby-Doo films from the early 2000s, which I enjoy. They're pretty good.
the original R-rated one that would have been great, but they haven't released it.
I think they still want. I think the original cast members want to do a third one. I don't know if that's happening.
That's I. That's not gonna happen. I'm sad that's not gonna happen, but it's true. It's probably not gonna happen.
But
Oh
no,
well.
James Gunn, his track record is great. Guardians films, The Suicide Squad, and Peacemaker, awesome. He's gonna be great. He's gonna
Hey,
light.
you miss a spot. Movie 43.
Oh shit, he was involved in that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was not aware of that. Shit.
So, what did you
Except
say
for one
about
thing.
his track
That's just one.
record being spotless?
That's, that's just one little blip. That's just one little blip. That thing is
Well,
everybody's
I did
forgotten.
mention how Super is kind of very flawed. So, there's also that.
That's just that's just two. That's just two out of the many that I have mentioned.
The
He's
Slither is probably not that great.
hey, Sam Raimi on his track record, he has Multiverse of Madness on there, and he also has Spider-Man 3. Um, so Sam Raimi is still a great director. He is awesome. He's done more good things.
Well. See, unlike that, James Gunn also has the Suicide Squad, infamously the worst movie ever made. So,
Oh shit, no! Suicide Squad is the best of the old DC universe, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. It's
I still like the
great.
movie. It's a 7 out of 10.
It is,
Yeah.
but no, James Gunn, he's coming in. He's got some great creative ideas, and I'm all for it as
He has
long as they
such
can come
creative,
to.
great ideas, such as Sparky and Michaela. Or wait, do you want to talk about Hamster PSA from 1997?
What?
Hamster PSA, 1997.
I don't. I don't know what this is.
It's a James Gunn directed movie. I thought you'd know about it.
What?
There's also Human Z, which is also a James Gunn movie.
Well, you're gonna have to show me this after we finish recording.
Yeah, the James
Um.
Gunn has a spotless track record. Spotless.
That was a bit of hyperbole,
Which
but he's done really good things in the comic book movie realm. I think he'll be good. He's a good fit.
he's a
He's got
good
some good
fit.
ideas. He's a good idea. He's got good ideas. He's very creative and fun. I think he's got it.
You really think so?
Yes, I think he
What if he
does.
makes a movie 43 version of Superman Legacy?
I don't think he would do that. I think James Gunn's got standards, all right.
Are you sure he has standards? He did make the Suicide Squad, the worst superhero movie ever made.
Not the worst superhero movie ever made is probably Suicide Squad 2016.
Oh hey, Kazanan had a video on that.
Hospital's got to be on everything.
I'm sorry, I think Kazanan infects the brain, as usual. It's kind of like the body, you always think of it. It's like, oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay,
What do
why
you
did
mean the body?
the body?
You're talking about the Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode.
Yes, the body, as mentioned
Oh,
in the
fuck.
Kazanan episode
Oh,
on
fuck.
Spider-Man Lotus. I thought you'd
So,
get that easily. God.
I thought I didn't even realize you were making a reference to Buffy. I thought you were talking about something else.
Nope.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a fucking dark. Anyway, yeah, that's all I'm saying. That was all I'm saying. Anyway, what was the
Mhm.
previous side tangent before we went back to James Gunn? What was it? I'm losing
Well,
track.
we're talking about James Gunn. Then started talking about Marvel, and then we stopped talking about. Well, so we went from Marvel. I said we didn't want to talk about Marvel. Then we talked about. I said we talked about DC and James Gunn. We got to that. Before Marvel, though, I was talking about Archer, and somehow we got onto Marvel, which I don't understand how we got there.
These things
Oh
always
shit! Yeah,
happen.
because you mentioned Infinity War and
Yeah, 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 yeah,
ending
yeah.
the
That's what it was.
Marvel Cinematic Universe on
So, th-
Infinity War.
so
That's
we
how we
talked
got
about
from
Marvel,
Archer
then
to
we
Marvel.
switched back to DC, but then we went on a side tangent away from DC and James Gunn. Then we went back here. So, what was that side
I like
tangent
that
in between those two DC slices? I forget.
we were talking about Batman Forever and the Batman Triumphant, which was going to be the fifth one, and then we talked about James Gunn's filmography.
Yeah. Okay.
It was it,
Now I
yeah.
remember. Yeah.
I like how my episodes just like stretch on out past what they're even about.
Yeah.
It's
No.
been
No.
like
No. No.
two fucking hours since we started.
I could keep going. I could keep going.
Oh God.
I
Is there even anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. I think we were talking. I was gonna say something on like because I mentioned perfect trilogies and you said Dark Knight. I think that's where where we led from here.
I'm just generalizing, honestly. Like people will still say, yeah, Dark Knight Rises is not great, but it still is like technically competent. It's really well made, even if Christian Bale is sleepwalking through it.
Oh, she is. She's definitely sleepwalking through it.
She is. I'm talking about Christian Bale.
He is. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wait, is Christian Bale trans?
No,
I wish he
not to my
was.
knowledge.
He'd have an OnlyFans. What am I talking about? Oh yeah, yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, perfect trilogies. Those don't exist besides Lord of the Rings.
Star Wars.
No,
No.
no, you just had to spoil it.
Ah,
Uh,
come on, man. Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Perfect trilogy right there.
actually, The Empire Strikes Back is a 7 out of 10. Well,
Fuck off, Cosmonaut. It
no, he
if
likes that movie.
Danis
What
was
are you talking about?
if Danis were here, he'd probably say Bayformers. So that's Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, and Dark of the Moon.
You
That's
know,
what he'd probably say is the
I gotta
trilogy.
say, for some reason, it was really weird to me. You know, Star Wars was nominated for Worst Picture of the Year by the Razzies, which it should have won, by the way. You know,
Which which film won Razzie? Was nominated for Razzies?
Star Wars, the original movie. You know,
Bullshit! Bull
yes,
fucking
it
shit!
was.
Do not fucking lie to me, all right? Show me your sources and your proof, and I will listen to what you have to say. Because that film, when it came out, was a cultural phenomenon. All right, and don't
Wait, okay,
stop
yeah,
bullshit.
okay. I was referencing a
Oh
video. I
fucking.
was referencing a Zamovie Dude video. God, we used to got to be so mad.
Oh, how am I supposed to know that?
Do you don't know about the Turbo Dude lore?
No, I don't know the
Wait,
Turbo
actually,
Dude lore.
wait, no, I can't say this publicly, or else the movie dude will like kill me. Like
No,
he'll like publicly execute me if I talk about this. Never mind. I don't want to get
no.
killed by the movie dude. But
Perfect trilogies. Perfect trilogies. Let me think here.
they don't exist except for Lord of the
They
Rings.
do exist. They do exist. There's got to be another
Wait,
trilogy.
hold on. What was nominated
Oh,
for the worst picture of the year in 1977? Was
definitely
Razzies
not
even
Star Wars.
around back then?
I don't even think it was.
Razzie.
Perfect trilogies. Perfect trilogy. Perfect trilogies. I'll have to search this up. Movie
Oh no, the
trilogy.
Golden Razzies have lasted from 1980. Oh, okay.
That's when we got full on shot. Oh, Back to the Future.
Wait,
There.
two's the wink. Well, actually, I like two, but I just like it less than three. and I like it less, way less than the first one, obviously.
Indiana Jones.
That's a contender, actually. Um, I
The
I did.
Godfather.
Uh, wait, have you seen the third movie? I haven't.
I've not seen past the first film, no.
Oh, really? No, you should watch two. It's great. Um, that's weird.
Toy Story.
There's four movies actually.
Well, there's 5 Indiana Jones films, but I it's still labeled that as a credible example.
Well, fuck. Do I want to talk about Toy Story 4? I
Let's
feel
not
like,
talk about Toy Story 4. We're gonna be here for even longer.
no, I'll get crucified if I talk about Toy Story 4.
No, I know you won't. I feel like the hype's died down now. It's been 4 years.
Well, Silent Dawn still thinks it's a 96.
Silent Dawn is not here, Xander, alright?
I keep mentioning him. What's wrong with
What,
me?
Matrix? No, no, the Matrix. Matrix is not a good trilogy. That's one really good film, and then
Well,
two
no, I
middling
wouldn't even
sequels.
argue the first one's that good. It's good.
What? Hey!
It's good.
Hey,
It's.
come
I said
on.
it's good. You know, it's kind of like your first Aftersun take. Maybe I need to rewatch it to understand it.
No, man, that film is so straightforward and easy to understand. Unlike the second one, which is just garbled nonsense.
Maybe Reload is a secret masterpiece. Maybe you're all lying to yourself. You know?
No, Matrix is like a real like blow your wig back. Like, whoa, what a movie once you finish it. Just like,
No,
whew.
no, not really. It's too straightforward. It's like I don't
Oh.
know. I think I expected way more from it. You know, it's kind of like Aftersun. You know?
Didn't expect anything from Aftersun because I didn't even know what it was about until I sat down and watched it.
No, you were expecting a straightforward story. That's what's wrong with you. How dare you?
No, I wasn't expecting anything, alright? I was just sat down to a film I didn't know anything about.
Really? Wow. Actually, I'm looking. Okay.
Yes, I didn't know.
Do you know anything
Oh,
about the
God.
Razzie Worst Pictures?
I know that Freddie Got Fingered won it, and Tom Green showed up at the Razzies with his own red carpet.
Do you remember the one time where Halle Berry showed up for her win for a Catwoman
Oh
2000
yeah,
and yeah.
I'm aware Halle Berry showed up for Catwoman at the Razzies. That is yeah, I think that's about it. That I my extent to my knowledge on the Razzies.
Really? I don't know. It's weird. I don't
Yeah.
think anyone talks about the Razzies except for like very specific like historical knowledge about really bad movies. Apparently, like Friday
Hmm.
the 13th was nominated. Huh.
I mean, all of those films are shit. Is there
Hey,
even a good Friday the? Is there even a good? Well, actually, no. People tell me that the fourth one is the best one,
Okay.
but
Final
then everyone just says
chapter.
all the others
Jason
are shit.
Lives. Jason X. Ironically, those are great movies. Those are great movies. I like those.
Are we factoring in Freddy versus Jason as well?
Oh, yeah, that one's good too. Let's go with that. I don't even think that movie's that bad. It's like it's stupid, but like it's fun. I don't know what's the problem. Oh, wait. Why was
What?
Annie 1982 nominated for Worst Picture? What?
Oh wow!
That's
I thought it was on my grandmother who hated that film. I didn't realize it was it was credible for a Razzie.
wait. Wait, let me see the critical response here. Annie received mixed reviews upon its release. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film has a approval rating of 49%. Based on
Wow.
35 reviews, with an average rating of 5.4 out of 10. The site's critical consensus reads John Hudson proves an odd choice to direct, mirroring, mirroring Annie as a sluggish, stage bound mess of an adaptation. But the kids are cute and the songs are memorable. Oh. On
That's
Metacritic,
interesting. I'm not seeing it,
huh.
but
Roger Ebert gave it 3 out of 4. That's surprisingly high for him. Uh, he reported,
3 out of 4.
yeah, that's what Roger Ebert's system is, out of 4 stars.
Huh.
So he said, so rigorously machine made, so relentlessly formula that the film is not about anything, despite its series of scenarios. But nonetheless, I sort of enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the energy that was visible on the screen. and the scrumptious of the production numbers and the good humor of several of the performances, especially those by Albert Finney as Daddy Warbucks, and Carol Burnett as the wicked orphanage supervisor. That's a weird way to describe Annie 1982. I was not expecting that from Roger Ebert. You know, it sounds
Mm.
like Roger Ebert's using the fun argument, if you get what I'm saying.
Uh,
Because he says it's like so relentlessly formulaic that it's not really about anything, but he says, I sort of enjoyed the movie for its energy. It's like, oh, so you're saying it's fun? So, I don't know. Seems to me Annie 1982 sounds great. You're all just mean to it.
I don't
Uh,
know. I've not seen it.
you've
I've
not?
not seen the remake either. No, not seen either.
Oh yeah, the remake went woke. They made her black. How dare you? It's so weird. Although that's a weird choice considering the film is about impoverished orphanage children. And you know the stereotype with black families. Oh no. That's not good.
But a black guy adopts her and takes her into his family. Jamie Foxx, I
That's
think.
true.
It is Jamie Foxx in the remake,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, I think it's Jamie Foxx. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh, Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier won for a worst picture in 1989.
The things I've heard about Star Trek Five.
I think was it directed by
Ooh.
William Shatner? Yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it was.
Love that man.
The fact that he
Love me some William.
directed the fucking Star Trek movie. Uh,
I'm so sad that we don't have the Twitter bot in our Discord anymore, so I can't see his constant tweets anymore.
why don't you just go on Twitter? Oh wait, that's a bad idea.
I'm
Oh,
not going on Twitter. I
wait,
refuse
don't you
to
mean
get an
called
account.
X? Sorry, I meant X.
The platform formerly known as Twitter. That's what I call it.
God damn
But no, fucking love his tweets. Just love that he just gets into random fights with people on Twitter, and he's just saying like weird, like random stuff. He always uses emojis unironically, like unironically.
He'd
It
enjoy the
is
Emoji
great.
Movie. I gotta say.
I don't know. I don't know about that, William. Also, I'm pretty sure he got rumbled because he was trolling on 4chan as well.
He was? I didn't know about this.
Apparently,
Cause
apparently,
I know
someone
I've
found
heard
out
of
that he was
like
on
the
4chan.
RLM like William Shatner saga in passing, but I haven't gotten the
Oh
full details on
no,
it.
no. Yeah, no. No, this predates the Red Letter Media stuff. In like
Oh no.
2014 or 15, he was big on Twitter, of course. He's always been big on Twitter. But then also he was on 4chan for a little bit, just like trolling and fucking around. And he's carried that on over to his Twitter as well. And it's fucking you're like 90 years old. How are you doing this? You trolling on 4chan and you shit stirring on Twitter?
That's
He's great. I fucking love William Shatner. He's awesome.
God
I
damn
probably
it.
will never meet him, but I would love to meet him at a convention.
Maybe someday. Someday. Maybe you can
Uh,
dress up as maybe you can dress up as Mike from Red Letter Media.
I feel so fucking so horrible for Mike Stacklasa because if you watch that video where they talk about the Red Letter Media Shatner drama, he looks so fucking like broken and sad, and I'm feeling for him because that's a childhood hero that he grew up with,
Yeah,
and
no,
just
that's sad.
telling him that he
I feel bad for them
has
in general
nothing to
because
do.
of the Picard reviews. I've like taken a glimpse at those, and every time I do, I just
Hmm
feel really sad. Like, oh,
I just feel sad for them whenever they watch like a franchise that they grew up with, and then you just see Mike, and he just looks miserable in every single one of the reviews. Where
I don't know. Half
they'll
of the
be like,
bag is
"Bits,
just a bag of misery. Really, it's just a bag of fucking misery most of the time.
but I love it though. I just look at the thumbnails from some of the recent ones, like the Matrix Resurrections is just Jay with his head in his hands, And he does the same thing again in the Exorcist Believer Half in the Bag episode, where
Oh
it's just
God.
pretty much the same thing,
Oh yeah.
with
Speaking
his
of,
head in
next
his
week
hands.
I have to do the Exorcist franchise episode. Jesus Christ.
Oh shit! You doing that? Are you doing that by yourself, or are you bringing someone
No,
else
I'm
on?
bringing on ketchup, so that's gonna be great.
Yeah, you're probably better off bringing people along because I scrubbed through your episode about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you just said it miserable doing it on your own.
Yeah, no. So the original plan. I'm gonna. This is a exclusive story here on the Dumps episode 11. So, the previous
Mhm.
episode, as you could tell, was the most angry I've ever been on this podcast. Well, besides that,
The sound of it.
the one brief 1 minute Evangelion argument in episode 9. So, check out for that. But yeah, this episode 10 was probably, if you listen to the whole thing, you probably felt bad for me. But it wasn't just because the movies were a load of shit. Um, Another reason was I was originally last minute gonna bring Danis on. Um,
Hmm.
Turns out he was gonna talk to his friend Korn, so he couldn't do it. And so there could have been a timeline where we would have had like a 3 hour like Texas Chainsaw episode with like Danis. But no, it was a sad 1 hour fucking drowning in my sorrows. It's just it was a sad day, sad day. I can't
It,
blame
it,
you for not
it
watching the
really.
full for not listening to the full thing. Cause honestly, I'm applauding Silver for even listening to that full thing. Cause it was just sad.
Oh, oh,
And
oh no.
well, maybe if you watch all of the Texas Chainsaw movies, maybe you
Oh,
can finally
fuck
watch the
off.
episode.
I only if I'm doing anything this October, I just want to watch the first one and just get out and
Okay,
don't
watch the
watch the
first
rest.
two. Just for the first two. I think that'd be great.
I'll just watch. I think I'll just watch the first one.
Nah, well, the second one's funny though. I think you'd enjoy it. It's great.
I gotta watch. I gotta watch more things, more stuff I've not seen. I still have not seen. Fuck, what was it? Still not seen Friday the 13th yet. I'll watch that
Uh,
one tomorrow
oh really? Okay.
because it's Friday the 13th tomorrow.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, I'm gonna watch Jason Lives tomorrow then. Jason Lives is great. Come on, it's great.
I,
It's,
I, I've got no opinion. Got no horse in this race on Friday the 13th. I'm not seeing any of them. But from what I've gathered, and I look at the ratings, they all just look like absolute shit.
they're not all bad. I mean, they kind of
Really?
evolve. They have like artistic intent, but
Mm,
just so you know, the first movie was made purely because Halloween is successful, and they were like, okay, let's make a slasher. And this guy Sean S. Cunningham, he basically strapped together a couple of bucks. It was like, all right, let's make a cheap horror picture for everyone to see, and it became too successful for its own good.
just sounds like softcore porn. Friday the 13th.
I mean, that was kind of like the original conception because it's meant to like lure in teenagers, who want to have like couple scares, a lot of sex, and a lot of downtime so they can have sex themselves. So yeah, that's basically what they were for. Um, but yeah, even though the literal franchise Friday the 13th was originally intended to be a fucking money maker, it was meant to be like an actual just like scam. Uh, they slowly evolve because you'll see in the first movie how boring it is. The first
I've
movie
heard the first one's not great.
is so boring. Have you read Daniel Shilto's review? He goes over it well. Cause good God, I couldn't even cover it well. It's so boring. The one highlight is actually no, I'll save that for you because it'll be the only joy you'll get from it. God. Also, Kevin Bacon's in it, so yeah,
Oh,
it's
cool.
it's worth something. It's worth something. Part two is weird because Jason has a bag on his head in that movie. Um,
Yeah, I heard he only gets his mask in the third one, isn't
yeah,
it?
third one, and we fully define him in the fourth movie, the final chapter, which is weird because it was
Yeah, that's
really
the one that everyone says is the best one.
yeah no because I think the final chapter like fully defines Jason as like a villain and his legacy, and it's weird because when they perfect the formula, it's when they're at the final movie, and so that final movie was so successful that they just continued on
And there was six more
and
and a spin-off
on and
and a
on and
remake.
on and on and on. You don't realize how weird it was watching all of those in a fucking day. It was weird.
You watched them all in a oh Jesus.
It was a nightmare. But yeah, the first movie is great. Uh, in a weird way, I have a heart on it. It's a three with heart. I don't know if you'd like it. Um,
Well,
but
we'll have to wait and see.
it's boring, but also at the same time, I'm like, this is some very, very boring camp. But I think I kind of like it that way. It's kind of like
Mm.
Best and the Worst, where Best of the Worst, where they're like watching shitty movies, but it's sort of fun to riff on,
Mm.
because I remember in their I was watching their Halloween Spectacular for I think last year, and they were watching
Mhm.
this thing called Primal Rage, and they were like sitting down, and then there was like this moment because they were expecting because the plot is that there's this new chemical that like basically makes animals really manic, which is why it's called primal fear. Uh, and the implication was, oh my god, there's gonna be a giant like 10-minute scene of like animal rampage, and then they all cheered when they saw the monkey ingest like the whole like fucking disease thing, and it starts to go wild, and they were like laughing, they were enjoying their time, and then like 10 seconds later, it's over. It's over. It's just done, and they're disappointed for the rest of the fucking movie. It's really sad, but it's fun to riff on. It's like the fact that they had a goal in mind, but they had such a low budget that they couldn't even do it. It's kind of the same way as Friday the 13th, but even more hollow because it was literally just a commercial film. They had a lot of resources, but they made a cheap horror movie so that teens could have sex and pay money for tickets. That was it. So, oh well. Um,
Yeah, well,
do you have any other horror plans for this month? Because we're like a quarter of the
I
way in.
think I think I wrote it down
A
somewhere. I
third
gotta
way.
catch up. Uh,
Yeah, you gotta catch up. Is there like
around here
a
somewhere.
is there like a main franchise you want to get to, or is it
I,
just?
I don't really watch like full franchises on October. Um, I
Hmm,
just kind of like um just do like one of everything, just so I get a taste of different things I've not seen.
yeah,
I just
that's
don't
good.
want to
That's a
get
good way.
stuck watching.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
no.
don't you
Oh,
don't want to
here we
get
go.
you don't
Right.
want to get stuck watching Jaws 3D or something.
So here's some other stuff I wanted to watch. There's The
Uh,
Babadook, Night
ooh,
of the Living Dead,
I've heard mixed things on that one.
Carrie, The Ring, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Omen, and Saw,
Oh
all
yeah,
of which I have not seen.
I don't, it's weird. I've heard about the Omen, like it's iconic for some reason, but like I haven't heard specific
Hmm.
details besides like, oh, the boy's like a demon. Like that's it.
A
But
lot of
it's
things I've heard is that people say it's a rip-off of The Exorcist. I'd say
uh,
that's rather a
wait, when did it
stretch.
come out again? I think
The Omen. Oh, The Omen came out
was it
later
78?
than The Exorcist.
I
I
think
think
it was
so.
78, but I mean, Possession isn't an original genre. I mean, literally, The Exorcist was based on a novel, so I don't know what they're talking about. Or maybe The Omen really is a ripoff of The Exorcist. I have no idea.
I think it just similar ideas as all.
Maybe. You know, maybe maybe The Omen has some original ideas. Maybe. Damn it. I just had to squeeze
Oh,
that
do you
in.
have,
It was too good. It's too good not to.
do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I really don't. I really fucking don't.
We want to wrap up there then?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I forgot. We had this whole episode here. Um,
Yeah.
long ago, we were talking about movies. Now,
Mm-hmm.
we're different men. Men
Yeah.
who've learned about Super's pedophilia and the fact that movie 43 had James Gunn involved in it. That's a very important lesson for today. Um,
Didn't even know.
didn't even know.
Every day's a school day.
Every day. But yeah, glad you came back to ramble on again. And yet again, we've had
Well,
a
good.
you've well, you haven't topped episode nine's rambling hour, but you were close. You were close. I'll give you a pat on the back, metaphorically speaking.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And I'm glad we've cleared up all the Aftersun nonsense.
Yeah, we can never discuss Aftersun again. I'm gonna rewatch it probably like a couple months. I have no idea, but we can all just ignore that. We can all move on with our
Mm,
lives.
we'll move on now. That's the end of the bit.
That's the end. And you know what? I
Mhm.
know a final quip to say to end this all. A critic has left the building. Alright, bye.
Bye.